Alrighty then, gamers. We're a little bit behind our usual schedule, but hey, you know how it is here. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Another great weekend almost behind us. 2024 February 25th is it today, approaching the 5 p.m. CET mark for this fine Sunday evening, which means the weekly Bounty Hunters FT7 is about to kick off again in just a bit. If it's your first rodeo here with us, we are basically a weekly 1st to 7 show match event for players of all skill levels and regions. And the name of the game tonight is, of course, Guilty Gear Strive. I'm your usual host, Kyuke. On the mic again, talking you through our 7 matches tonight. And since we're a little behind, let's cut the pleasantries right away and take a small peek at what's in store for tonight. So I guess the biggest glaring question mark, literally, at the middle point of the event, if you're wondering, what's that about? We are gonna play one of our FT7 matches today as a random select match, which means both players are gonna get a random character between every single game. A very high variance type of gameplay. This will be Niamh's 3rd time, I believe, on Bounty Hunters playing the random match. Nuggie's 1st time, of course. Other notable cool things about the roster, we of course have Blodboen making his 2nd entry to Bounty Hunters. Had a really great match versus Zok's Leo. Was it last event? I think it was last week. Super strong, probably one of the strongest Asuka play that we've had on Bounty Hunters so far. I'm gonna be facing another super active regular in the form of Maria at the very end of the schedule. We got a lot of Bridget players. Out of 2 are going to be once again facing each other. Wow, I think this is the 2nd Bridget mirror in a row. But I think a lot of the Bridget players that we have on the roster. Ooh, did I just kill my? Monitor. Give me a second. Technical difficulties, please stand by. Okay, there we go. I was like, this would be a really awkward time for my 3rd monitor to die, especially since I have so much junk on that monitor. Okay, but we're good. What else? We got some alpha in the menu. We've got a lot of DLC characters in the menu. New players making their debuts tonight will be not just our duo that's going to be starting off the evening, Argalia and Jungie, but also Hoplan. Did we have anybody else? No, that rest of the players would be of the regular sort, or at least appeared on the screen once before. Let me ping Argalia and Jungie to signal that it is indeed go time in a bit. Let me get the room code as well in my paste. That's generally a fairly good idea. I think we got Jungie already in the lobby, so only Argalia is missing for the moment. I think which one of these players? I think it was Argalia who required an early match. So in case of, I'm gonna already start building plan Bs. If we are indeed unlucky tonight, we could potentially play either Matcha Mai versus Hoplan or Radune versus L first. Give Argalia a couple more minutes before making the judgment call. I guess the better option would be to check which one of our pairs are ready to actually play. It's always a little awkward if the first pair is not ready to play. Of course, yours truly is to blame for not checking with the players in time, I suppose. Alright, never mind. Speak of the devil, they shall appear. We got Argalia in the lobby. Oh, actually, let's flip the card on the screen as well. Let's not forget about these cool-ass cards. Alright. Testament versus Kai. Two characters that can make super good use of their fireballs. I think Testament is a little bit more sort of locked into the two-stage kind of gameplay, because Testament always needs to curse the opponent first to have really good rewards, unless, you know, you have your red-white assault to spend. For Kai, it's a little bit more optional to electrify your opponent, and after that you got some pretty decent options available. Ooh, and it's into the fireball and gets cursed as well, straight into the teleport. Wow, there's so many things happening at once. Got the curse, got the hit, and got the bait as well. Now Jungie fairly low on health, but got the position back. Wall break. Resources are going to be flowing in. We'll be very close to a full burst after that positive bonus is done. RC from the positive bonus. And back to neutral we go. Now Argalia does have the advantage here with the meter. So it's a good up fireball. Kind of a hard call out to opponents trying to jump over your S fireball. Of course, the instant air dash is basically the most standard fighting game response to a strong fireball. Testament can do the up fireball as a sort of it's not the hardest of call out for the counterplay against the heavy fireball. The up fireball would be to whiff punish. If your opponent is on the ground, it's more of a mid-screen poke, with its first part being a strike and second part being the projectile. Speaking of that tool, set up the curse once again. Argalia with the double jump, but the good timing from Jungie doesn't get baited by the double jump too much. RTL to take the wall, hard knockdown. There's a couple of options that Argalia could do here. Very reasonable option here played by Jungie, because if Argalia wanted to spend meter here or resources, it would have had to be the deflect shield, which does get beaten by the throw. A little late on that red-white assault wall break. Gonna have to leave that. Oh, very nice running under and getting punished on the way down. The S fireball preventing stun dipper. However, this time chasing with it after the teleport. Jump heavy. Ends up going unanswered. And there we go. The S fireball also produces a little bit of a strike hitbox before the fireball goes active. It's a very interesting fireball, Testaments, being one of the few fireballs in fighting game history that is actually both a strike and a projectile at the same time. Ooh, very favorable ground to air situation for Jungie, putting Argalia in the corner. A little low on the offensive resources. whereas Argalia has 50 of both kinds to spend. However, finding a good hit, and you bet your ass the king has strong combos, especially out of those heavy button startups.
Kai wins.
First one going in the favor of Jungie. Let's see, we gotta do a couple of adjustments here. I think I put the room in rematch still.
Mankind new. Duel 1.
Alright. Back into it. Jungie 1-0. A Russian Kai player. As well as a Testament player from the UK. Both first-timers on Bounty Hunters tonight. Argalia being pushed into the corner. Got a lot of juice to spend here. To the wall break. Yep. Hard knockdown. Ever so important, especially since you're playing theoretically a character who can match you at neutral. And the food arc once again. A little bit of a throwback to the previous iteration of that move. Greed Sever, hop over, all grounded normals that could come out. This time Argalia does evade it. I think Jungie ended up landing out of the food arc way before there was anything that Argalia could have done about it. And is the S-Fireball preventing Crow from doing anything, and now looking for the hard knockdown, or rather the wall break. Argalia says, no, I will not give you the resources. Fast RC on the Crow, trying to reach for the hit, however. Nobody's home. Jungie was backdashing out of that situation. Once you do have your opponent cursed as a Testament, the 2K tends to be one of the most consistent and safe ways to try to fish for that one hit. Remember, when the stain is applied on the opponent, it doesn't matter really what you land on your opponent. They're gonna be popped up into the air as a sort of mini red RC of sorts. And 2K being, fairly fast, or very far-reaching button, an extremely low-profiling button, extremely fast button, just a really comfy button to play with. Only lacking rewards, so great to be combined with the stain. Utilizing, sick. Oh, that's kind of cool. Using the 2K, the low-profile frames that we were talking about when it comes to Testament 2K, going under the super fireball of Kai's. Now, Testament can do that with Kai's normal fireballs as well. It is what we call in the business the DLC 2K. 2K with some extra great features. A little too early on that throw. I think Argalia was still in block stun there. The Crow ends up winning the fireball war. And then a couple of well-placed Arbiter signs, especially when combined with the stain. The Arbiter sign hits that usually are going to be fairly minus will end up being slightly plus because of the stain pop. Go into Stun Dipper. And an immediate burst. However, Argalia was ready to check the air, send up the heavy fireball, and those heavy fireballs, not only are they kind of hard to deal with in terms of, being fairly fast on width, but they just cover a lot of space, and maybe even more importantly, they give Testament really necessary, like the super important hard-hitting combos without needing to have your curse requirements fulfilled. Trying to get an OTG kill, not quite. However, the frame trap into, what's that move called? Damn, I always forget about Kai's new special move names. Not seal. Maybe we'll remember at some part of the set. However, now dash jump, forward jump, slash, preventing Argalia from exiting the corner. Testament does have, Testament does have quite a lot of different ways of exiting. Not just the universal ones, but when the succubus marker is on the screen, you can choose to teleport into it, forcing the opponent to sort of not overcommit into chasing you. Once again, really nice. Multiple stain combos. Containing Jungie in the corner. Crow breaking the startup with heavy fireball. Stain expiring a little too soon, so Argalia didn't get to utilize it. But the overhead arbiter catching Jungie in the air, putting Argalia on board. First point here. Right, adjusting to the opponent, and perhaps adjusting to situation as well. I'm not sure why the players have been hopping out, but it is completely within their rights to take a little breather. In fact, breathers are encouraged in a lot of competitive play situations. Back into it we go. Jungie with 2, Argalia with 1 newly acquired point. Fighting the obstacle course once again, running under the fireball and waiting for the burst again. Argalia did that exact same kind of sequence in the first game. Of course, it's very likely that your opponent is going to be thinking about the burst on the stain pops, as it will be kind of one of the hardest hitting things that Testament could ever land. Very nice, and got the super conversion here, and ending up with, oh, never mind, doesn't even need to go to the next screen. A lot of damage there. Right, big start here. Kai, corner carry combos, massive damage, hard knockdown. That's half of your life. The basic close slash pressure. We are talking about a strike throw character. Goes for a hard read on the burst. Argalia was not ready to burst that time. Gold burst will make them safe. And out of the corner we go. Using the 50 burst. Carry the opponent to the corner and keep the pressure alive, and well worth it. Even though they now have to go into the last round without any, you know, extra burst resources available. Oh, but got hit by the massive 2 heavy counter hit, and that will lead into some really cheesy damage. It's one of the few super good starters for Testament that also does not require you to have Stain on. Testament really has to take, you know, make good use of those as well as possible. Because your usual game plan, the first apply Stain, or rather first throw fireball, then apply Stain, and then find the hit. It is a very, very slow game plan compared to many other characters in Guilty Gear Strive. 3 close slashes into a 4th throw, hard bait on the burst, but no, Argalia, big value for holding the burst. Here comes my tick throws. I mean, you are perhaps the king, but I can do this shit too. Testament, even though when we think about basic tick throw characters in Guilty Gear Strike, you would think of characters like Sol, Kai, maybe even Geo, characters that have extremely good close slashes and good pressure to back up, force the opponent to not mash on the throws. Testament can do some fairly strong tick throw pressure as well. I think the defining difference is though that Testament, because they have such a good keep away game, and because they don't necessarily want to commit to the sort of wild side, the dangerous side of the usual Guilty Gear Strive mixes, they tend to play from a little bit further. You can take a step back, like play from mid-screen, not mid-screen but mid-range, and sort of, instead of going for the tick throws, just loop your Stain pressure instead. Take smaller risks, but also prevent the opponent from you know, getting to interact with your offense as much as they usually do. Well, that is not to say that you can't interact with Testament's offense, you know. On the contrary, there are quite a few things that you can do, but it does require quite a bit of knowledge about the matchup and the character. Just hopping the Arbiter, or rather the Stain with the Arbiter, and basically putting Jungie in a situation where one Arbiter sign can take it all. Those are the nastiest kind of situations against Testament. Charge 5D, but Argalia ready to stand up. Jungie going on the offensive, burst, still Stain applied for a couple of seconds. I'm not sure if actually got the Stain pop there. Was off screen for a moment. Burst towards the corner, jump over the too heavy. We got a punishing hit. Oh, I'm actually surprised that 6K, sorry, the 6P didn't hit there. The air fireballs from Testament do have, you know, hitboxes extended fairly far away. But depending on the position, you might be able to dodge some anti-airs. Oh, but here's a knowledge check again. What are we gonna do? Just holding it. The thing is, when you go into the Succubus Super as Testament, it does not really tag your opponent right away. There is a massive gap for you to either, you know, do DPs or your own supers, or just actually just jump over, even instant air dash over. But it's completely understandable if you, at that particular spacing, especially if you haven't run that situation in training mode ever before, it's probably a safer play to just hold it. It will give Testament kind of a ghetto mix-up, because the last hit of the super does apply Stain. But it's better than just, you know, running face first into the super and getting, you know, wall broken from the other side of the screen. Alright, here we come, the premium strike throw game with your King Kai Kisk. Momentum burst. Got the confirm of the 5D on an airborne opponent. Have to take this without a heart knockdown. Let's see what Argalia can do with this limited amount of hit points. Teleport into the trade, unfortunately for Argalia. And drop the combo as well. The up fireballs are finding their marks. Another Sacred Edge, we'll have to hold it and take the chip damage. There we go, got the tip hit of the too heavy. And with the use of Wild Assault, getting a wall break as well. Spend it all, heart knockdown. There is no DP RC available here for Kai. Jungie went for the deflect shield instead, choosing to use the remainder of their defensive resources, and looks like it will pay off. Again, look at that range, the actives and the range combined. Too heavy from Testament, even if it initially whiffs, you gotta be very careful not to extend yourself into the active frames of that move, especially since it's such a potent starter as well. We're gonna back, instant air back dash, keeping Argalia safe against the jump-ins. Oh, the stage just expired just in time, I think. 2K2D. Triggering Jungie to go for the burst. Wants to still fight for this game. Close slash micro dash, close slash micro dash, the classic. There won't be a hard knockdown here. Argalia with very decent amount of resources and gets a big counter hit, jump, heavy jump in. Is that gonna be enough? Not quite. Anything will do it. Yeah, catching the heavy Arbiter sign, finding a hit on Jungie as they were trying to throw a fireball, I believe. Another 2 heavy hits. Very decent amount of damage, even for a 2-hit combo. Throw, nullifying the fireball from Jungie. A couple of different options, and yo, that's so smart from Jungie! Recognize that the Succubus marker was there, so if they completely commit on the heavy fireball, that means Argalia could teleport out of there and chose to park themselves next to the Succubus marker. Got the curse, and finds the hit as well. Chose to not convert that into a wall break super. We'll have to take this wall break without a heart knockdown again. Jungie full burst, ready to go. Might not be able to. Oh, never mind. We'll be able to use it on a blue burst and finds a big hit with that. With that flip kick into a dragon install. Rare stuff here. This could be a chip kill. Let's see. Yeah, they went for a throw. And that means that Calamity 1 is an open option for Argalia. Even though this is a very, very slow super, one of the slowest reversal supers in the game. It still has the feature of being a reversal super. That means it's gonna beat strikes and it's also gonna beat throws. A feature which normal meterless DPs would not be able to beat. I think that's like one of the most important factors that you gotta keep in mind when you judge between, alright, should I go for DP RC or should I go for a reversal super? What does reversal super actually do for me? Right. More electricity. Oh my god, that was asking for a lot of requests there from Argalia. Walking forward a couple of times. Hard bait here. Jungie not ready to bite on that just yet. And in fact, Jungie will take the burst from Argalia with that nice RC bait. Now, one of the factors for Argalia, not just to, you know, try to win this round, but perhaps try to survive as long as possible in order to build back as much meter as possible after that fully whiffed burst. However, we are also on Season 3, so sticking the opponent into the wall is gonna build massive amount of burst back. And even though in the past Argalia would be nowhere near burst at this point, in the current season, getting stuck into the wall once, allowing them to be ever so closer to a full burst here. Stun Dipper, fast starting normal ends up being the option that got Jungie out of the corner. Curse has been applied. That was a very nice chase, but again the 5k just quite not reaching far enough. When you have that stain applied, it's not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to find the hit. It's often good enough that you land it on block, because that will give you a massive amount of frame advantage and potentially an opportunity to loop back into the stain. Alright, going extremely neck to neck here on our first matchup of the evening. Starting up with 6B. That's actually kind of amazing, because if you get a 6B starter, that means your combo already has some massive amount of gravity scaling. Yet Argalia was still able to make that red wild assault work relatively well. I think not a whole lot of characters will be able to get a wall break, even with wild assault, if their starter is 6B from round start position. A trade here in favor of Jungie. And a fully charged 5D that you definitely take if you don't drop the combo. And why would you? Even if you, it's kind of funny, even if you don't necessarily know the fully charged 5D combo, it's fairly easy to just come up with your own combo. Just press a couple of buttons, go for a jump cancel, and press a couple more buttons, and just, you know, ended up with a just tapping one button twice in a row, and you already have put together a combo that probably does around like 150 to 200 damage. Nice escape from the corner by using possession by Argalia. Deep dash into 6B, and the fireball once again seems to be the tool that takes care of Stun Dipper. Oh, hit confirm into... What's that super called? Just call it the girls. Going for the throw a little too early there. Like we said, Stain does give you quite a lot of frame advantage. Sacred Edge, break the wall, just one more hit. Electricity is on, here comes Arbiter 1! I'm surprised that the 5k actually didn't manage to recover in time. I think if you time that 5k perfectly, it recovers extremely fast. It's in fact one of the go-to ways for Kai players to be, oh, but hold that thought! We got a burst bait once again! And this time Argalia on the party who was doing the bamboozling. Teleport out of the corner. Good 6B, not allowing that air fireball to go active. 5D RC, we confirming. Can get the wall break, but can't get the hard knockdown. Equalizing the life situation, but Argalia has so many resources for now. Jungie would love to run some pressure here though, but even if you get that positive bonus, if you, oh, hard bait, Argalia delays it, gets the blue burst off. Marker is there and gets out with a teleport once again. Did trigger negative penalty though. So it's gonna be super hard for Argalia to build any meter for a while. It's gonna be super dry for now. Whereas this time, Stun Dipper RC keep the pressure going and frame trap into the Wild Assault and then some. Jungie evens it out 4-4. I kind of want to check if... Did I actually put this room on? It is on rematch. All right, just making sure. Such an interesting matchup from both characters' perspective. I've of course personally played this much more from the Testament side of things. It's really cool that you, as a Testament player, do have pretty good callouts on, you know. You would think initially that Stun Dipper is gonna be a huge issue because it can dive under crows, it can interrupt a lot of your basic, you know, stain loops. Oh my goodness! The fireball, sorry, the DP from Kai hitting so far and behind. I guess it's one of the trade-offs of Kai's DP, because it has historically been one of the easiest DPs to low profile. As a compensation, it does have a massive hitbox going up and behind you as well to some extent. So it's much more like, you know, much more above rather than in front of you. Going into good Kai combos once again, hard knockdown with the Wild Assault. And now we are in the position where we get to build so much meter. This is the essence of Season 3. When you are in that positive bonus, you want to land anything that you can on block. Just land a couple of moves on block, on hit. It doesn't matter. You're going to be building so much freaking meter, as well as bursts back. Just like that, Jungie has jumped back onto the driver's seat. It was Jungie at the start, started very strong, then Argalia took it over Jungie for a couple of moments, and now once again, Jungie, perhaps at the most crucial moments, overtaking their opponent in points as we are drawing closer to the championship rounds. Couple more games would be okay for Jungie. Argalia needs 3 more. Once again, starting with that too heavy. But I think at this point, Jungie has been getting hit by it so much that they've grown very wary of that spacing. That is definitely one way that you can take advantage of it. If Testament wants to whiff that too heavy from far distance, you could, for example, take out your heavy fireball and kinda, not really guarantee, but oh, well, that time we got a massive air to, rather, I guess you could call that air to air, but the flip kick on an airborne opponent dealing a lot of damage. And there we go, that's what I was talking about earlier. The very meaty 5k that recovers so fast. One of the best safe meaties in the game comes from the king himself. And it's such a good match against Calamity 1, one of the slowest starting reversal supers. I think it's like 13 or 14 frames for Testament, something like that. Ooh, good hit here. Up fireball. Ends up going for the setup instead. And again, plus frames from the up fireball, but we don't give a damn because we have Stun Dipper, especially if there's a little bit of distance between the opponent and you. Despite that, Argalia able to grasp the momentum back, going under the fireball with 6p. Damn, it's not just the 2k that gang low profile. It, of course, one of the best 6ps in the game. That is the Testament's big hand. We go, oh, using the Asha kind of a shimmy. I saw Argalia go for the throw there, but gets counter hit out of it by 5D, fully charged. Now Argalia does not have any burst to get out of this. Will be their doom. Jungie moves into the position where you get to be the shark, closing in on the opponent, smelling the blood in the water. Only one is what it takes for Jungie to come out of this victorious. And now the game will have to be super tight from Argalia's side of things. Got the curse, trigger it. And we were close enough to get a really nice comfy conversion. Trigger the stain with Arbiter Sign. Oh, there we go. Stun Dipper is so fast at moving forward that it can and probably will a lot of the times get Kai out of those slow starting Arbiter Signs. Right, momentum burst, 5D, 25, I think 20, 20, 21, 20 frame startup. To RC into wall break, and we have once again equalized the life situation. There we go, it starts so fast and it goes under so many things. There are very few things that can actually call that out. Of course, I think well-timed fireballs, if you do have... Ooh, is it gonna delete the fireball? No, but the girls will stay in and actually curse the opponent. Trying to stall for time. There we go, just was able to keep Argalia away just long enough so that the stain ended up expiring and not getting any value for Argalia. Set point for the first time, Jungie knocking on the heaven's doors, choosing the Rogue Crow descent there, was homing in towards the Succubi, whereas Jungie was coming from the air, fully charged 5D, backdash out of it after the minus frames. Argalia looking for a way out. We have to trying to produce a Succubus marker to get a potential RPS on the teleport. Hard knockdown, this could be the last one. Finds the hit, Red Wild Assault, and wham bam, thank you, man. From the 4-even situation, Jungie picks up the pace and able to play aggressive enough to bring it home 7-4. But really nice moves from both of our first timers to die on Bounty Hunters. Really great showcase of the matchup as well. This is really good stuff. Alright, next up. Third week in a row, I think this will be for Matcha Mai. And on the other corner, in the opposite corner, we have another Nago player that I actually didn't know that we had in Finland. Hoplan Nagoriyuki, representing the homeland colors here for all the Finnish fighting game FGC enthusiasts. Of course, Mai, to refresh your memories, Mai is a longtime player from the Exert era. Picked up Strive properly for the first time extremely recently, and has been sort of racing, trying to sort of speedrun all the fundamentals, all the basic stuff that you need to play high level in this game. Basically playing catch up, trying to see how fast, how far we can get with the old Guilty Gear fundamentals. As for Hoplan, there's not going to be a lot of info on them. I think this will be literally the first time I see Hoplan play. I think I've seen Hoplan on double elimination brackets before on a glimpse, I want to say. I could be wrong. But it's going to be very exciting to see how does this Nago player choose to tackle the Sin matchup and Guilty Gear Strive in general. Now this is kind of a tough matchup for Sin. They do say that this is one of the toughest to play for Sin. There are a lot of things that kind of just don't go in Sin's favor in this matchup. I got a close slash punish. That was a good timing as well. I think it's point blank block on Blood Rage is exactly 7 frames, is it? Or is it 8 frames or something? But I think that was a pretty tight timing to get the close slash out in that situation. Usually, I would myself often just go for a lighter button and, you know, not trust in my tournament nerves. Send me the clone. It's gonna spend a decent amount of blood, or rather, no, not gonna spend any blood because they do have a lot of negative momentum on the blood pressure there. R slash. Big driver, the basic stuff. We can be safe out of those hoof stomps if we choose to use stamina. Here comes Hoplan. Fresh on the blood meter. We can use it a lot. Here we go. Mai with the burst. Basically bursting Hoplan to high blood pressure. This is exactly my strategy going in here. Use bursts when the opponent is high on blood. That will mean if they choose to spend any more blood, they will have to risk going into bust state. There we go. Counter start. Elk is what starts this stuff. Get the throw. / OTG. Playing the shimmy option, checking if Hoplan wants to try to take some throws here. A little late on the wall break, but we're still holding the position. This might actually be better for Mai. For now, we need only one more hit. Is that gonna be the hit? Not quite. Hoplan has to burst here to escape this tricky situation. We still have a little bit of blood. RC is available. Here we go. Are we gonna break the wall? Drops the combo. And now Mai, with a lot of options available, has the bird. Oh, I was about to say, does have a DP RC, but just before that, I think Mai used it on an FD, so the DP RC was in fact not available for that one. But still gets the second hit. It's reasonably difficult, or surprisingly difficult to, or unsurprisingly difficult. Wait, what am I trying to say? It is a difficult DP to deal with, right? That's what I've been trying to say. Especially if the first hit whiffs, it's kind of awkward. You have to eyeball the distance and try to decide whether you want to challenge it on the way down or try to back out of it. Now Mai using the burst here. Oh, but got clipped in the follow-up situation. And any hit when you are blood raged, if you have that 50 meter ready to go, is probably gonna go into GG for Nagoriyuki. Nice DP here, interrupting Hoplan's pressure. Into Elk, 1-2, keep up the pressure. Checking what Hoplan wants to do out of those 5 heavies. And the 5 heavy is a really great button for pressure for Sin, even though it's -2. Because it pushes the opponent so far away. It's kind of, I want to say, kind of similar button. Oh, wow, that thought. We get a big punish opportunity here. And Mai, she drops her combo, but puts Hoplan in a situation where any hit from a special move, even on block, is gonna take the cake. Nice, bar slash on the landing. Once again, playing for the tick throws. This is another very tick throw oriented character here. Hoplan tries to go for the throw, perhaps as a countermeasure against the Elk cancels. Remember, the Elk cancels, no matter what you cancel Elk from, it will be always throwable. Extremely respectful here, trying to bait out the blood from Hoplan. And there we go, fires the hit. This is one of the, like, no matter what character you are playing, this is one of the go-to crowd favorite strategies to tackle the Nago matchup. Because Beyblade and Clone Hukyo are so difficult, so damn difficult to challenge. Right here, look at this. There's just pretty much nothing you can do about it on the ground, which is why a lot of players will try to bait Nagoriyuki into spending one of those and missing their special moves, so that a little bit of the blood can be milked out of Nagoriyuki before they actually commit to stuff. And then if you manage to get Nago to blood level 3, you know that there will be no special jump scares anymore. At that point, Nagoriyuki will have to rely on their normals, namely 2S and 5 heavy especially. And those are a little more linear to approach, let's put it like this. They're still very hard to whiff punish, but at least you know what is coming, right? But now Hoplan still has a little bit of blood to spend. Ooh, footsies? Get challenge? Really? I didn't even know. I'm a Sin player and I could not fathom that trade. Yeah, here we go, the 5 heavy. Hukyo backwards, baits out the Elk Hunt, and gets first point for Hoplan. Another very, signature move, Elk Hunt for Sin. Very strong tool in especially Guilty Gear Strive. One of the most premium neutral skip tools. Puts you in basically in your opponent's guard, and if you're willing to spend 1 stamina into it, gives you +8. And that's gonna be like one of the tools that you have to counterplay. Oh, it's gonna pop. And more importantly, did Mai notice? Oh, the Blood Rage doesn't even land on block. And a throw should be it. Yes, indeed. DP round start works out this time. I think in the most current patches, Sim 2D should be fairly good against that button being a 10-framer, whereas Nago's DP does have a 11-frame startup. Sim is actually one of the few characters in the game who can challenge that button fairly. I don't want to say convincingly, but can do that if you're brave enough. Because if you get hit, this kind of stuff could happen. Hoplan rushing to get a couple of those heavy strikes in, draining the blood, and we are in the clear for now. Nice conversion. Doesn't quite get the hard knockdown, or the wall break rather. Mai was completely out of resources. No burst, no tension, and no stamina either. Frame trap into the DP. This will hurt unless you miss. Momentum burst though against that DP. Double jump trying to get over Hoplan. Hoplan does fix their position though. Basic safe jump. What do we go into? Throw into another one. Oh, Hoplan ready to contest it. DPRC jumps over, and the jump D, very delayed momentum, gets the conversion into DP, into a big BMB, getting Mai the 3rd game here. So to compensate the massive hurt box that you are extending yourself out of yourself with that Sim jump D, it does give you an ability to, you know, at the right spacing, sort of bait the opponent's grounded anti-air. It is a basic dive kick after all. And perhaps more relevant, if you get a jump, if you get a hit from that and manage to hit confirm into a DP, it's gonna be basically a not very scaled BMB conversion. It's like actually one of Sin's better starters, if you will. Right, jump backwards, able to avoid that DP from Hoplan. When it comes to Nagoriyuki matchup, oh, okay, we're aggressive here. DP back into the mid screen. Mai does spend all of her tension, so won't be able to follow this up. No resources available. And that's going to be a very important thing to gauge for the opponent. If Sin can't cancel his special move into follow-ups, he is basically going to be always punishable. Even Beak Driver is -14 on block. Hoplan is going to pop here. Let's see. Gets to pop safely and has 50 meter ready to go. So Mai, smartly, not committing into anything. Literally 1 hit point left. Oh, but Hoplan, good bait here, forcing Mai to go into that burst if she still wants to play for it. Yeah, and go into Beak Driver into the follow-up. Deal a little bit of a jump scare chip damage and get around that way. Oh, send in the clone. Good timing on the 6P this time. You've got to be really careful with the spacing of the jump D. If you miss the opponent altogether, as in if you don't even manage to land the jump D on block, it will put you in a lot of recovery. Right, DP works out this time. Mai is in for a lot of hurt. Dropped combo from Hoplan though. Tries to hit confirm into the DP, but it is quite the hard hit confirm out of jump D into DP. You'll have to have like I'm not exactly sure how many frames you have to hit confirm that, but I personally am having a lot of difficulties to play that situation as anything but a wish confirm. The wall gives in a little too early for Mai's taste here, so Hoplan will be able to get out of it. Decent amount of blood to spend, as well as the RC. Mai goes for a burst. Get a throw, and did she bait? I think I didn't see any buttons here. Yeah, good bait from Mai. Reading the reversal super completely. Going into the last round here, Hoplan does have a little bit of an advantage, does have the White Wild Assault available right from the get-go. However, Mai with the corner pressure, Quad is open, send the clone, go after it with a Fukyo. Are we gonna pop? Not quite, I think. Oh my god, is there still momentum in the blood? Is it gonna pop? No, perfect calculation from Hoplan! I was literally one blood unit away from being, you know, from going bust. Mai in a really nice position there in the air, avoiding the Wild Assault from Nago completely. Looking for the whiff punish, really good spacing, but you have to commit to it after the whiff. Instant air dash, it doesn't quite get there in time. 5 heavy still ends up swiping Mai out of the sky. In that Blood 3 situation, it is very common for Sin players to try to instant air dash as a hard read, because you know, the one button that they are gonna be pressing, the button that Nago is probably gonna be pressing in that level 3 Blood is 5 heavy, and if you end up pressing it, it has so much recovery that like any jump, any air dash, anything that had you in air is gonna be able to get a punish. Uh-oh. Launch the opponent far away into... Okay, Mai gets decent value out of that burst. Will be able to completely avoid the 50 meter from Hoplan. However, 6B works out. Good confirm. Drop them in the corner. Here we go. Hold this. It's a very nice Nagoriyuki round. Round start 2D once again. Mai misjudges the timing on the meaty. Oh, here we go. 2 heavy is another option that you can use against that dive kick. It is a little slower on startup and has much more coverage and reach compared to 6P. So it's much harder to whiff with it if your opponent tries to hold their momentum in the air. Yeah, there we go. Hoplan giving the chase, not letting Mai run away with too much of a lead, making this interesting still.
Mankind knew that they can. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh, tried to sort of stomp over the 2D this time, Hoplan with a 6K, but ends up trading unfavorably, it seems. With a super jump, finds its mark. Forcing burst out of Matcha Mai. We have stamina here. Or rather tension instead of stamina. There we go. Sin is an interesting character. Even if you run out of stamina, usually because you end up extending your pressure string so much with that stamina, you end up building 50 tension just as you are about to go, you know, hungry. So you can instead use the meter to extend your pressure, and then you're probably gonna have your Wild Assaults ready to go, and you can kind of really juggle between those 3 resources really efficiently when you're pressuring the opponent. One of the sort of best features of characters like Sin and Nagoriyuki in that regard. Oh, but that was a big confirm. Big 2 does not go into the Kara RTL, unfortunately. Oh, but the delay on the second hit, the follow-up, which is also a DP, as well as a really good combo starter. Got bamboozled there a little. The neutral jump, lands Mai safely, whiffs the L count, good spacing on Hoplan. The very late RC here, potentially trying to bait buttons out from Mai. 6B get back onto the ground, but the L count against 5 heavy goes under. However, oh, the RPS here, close slash, come back to the ground, spend the RC, keeping the pressure and catching Mai's jump out with the DP. That DP is really great at drawing opponents back onto the ground or getting caught on the second hit. Remember, it's not over before the second hit comes out. In fact, it's sort of a little guessing minigame depending on where you fire your DP. The second hit of the DP series is an overhead, but you don't necessarily have to go into it if you don't want to. Alright, safe pop. No, not a safe pop. This could be a kill. Oh, Mai was out of stamina there. A little off confirm. Was trying to go into the Kara Super, but didn't have the stamina required for it. Oh, and Hoplan will end up taking it there. It's so one of the season 3 updates for Sin is you don't spend the stamina anymore for the car cancels, but you have to have the 1 bar of stamina for you to use the car cancel, because your car cancels are based around Gazelle Step, a move that does require you to have that. But since you're canceling the startup of that Gazelle Step, you are not spending the stamina per se. However, it can sometimes be a little hard to judge whether your stamina is gonna recover in time while you are doing your combo. Reaching for the throw again. Covering himself with a RC out of that. First starter from Mai, yep. I just being very safe here, even though Hoplan did have a big life lead. Very respectful of Mai's defense, offense and explosive potential, recognizing that if I don't burst here, I might actually get reversaled. Now, looking with the corner, miss on the 2 heavy, always a dangerous thing to do. However, Mai not reacting in time, and the DP will sweep the crown. Elk hunt, more like no hunting here. Looking for a really funny line, not finding it. Here we go, full bar of blood ready to go. However, Mai finds a DP out of there. Close slash counter hit. Could that be a kill? No, it's that was another really difficult choice for Mai, but I actually had a kill combo there. Oh, this should hit right. Right? Yeah. The RTL catching the recovery frames of that clone. But yeah, as I was about to say, Mai could have ended that combo short. Instead of doing the special super, could have done normal into a super and gotten the kill. But again, in the heat of the moment, it can be hard to keep an eye on everything happening on the screen and your resources on top of that. Okay. Hoplan out of that neutral jump on landing, jump out. Be very careful about the blood-sucking universe. Which surprisingly, Hoplan hasn't represented that much here, I think. And once again, Matcha Mai taking the driver's seat 5-4, but by no means is it done yet. We've been in this situation now 2 times already. We were in this situation 1 time already earlier. Ooh, good whip punish too, but Hoplan chose such a stubby button there in the form of 6P. Here we go, the interruption 2S from Mai, putting Hoplan very high on blood, so now Hoplan will not have any option to use special moves for a while. Both Hukyo and Beyblade would put them in the bursting state. However, Hukyo is gonna spend a little less than the clone or the Beyblade. Will still end up putting Hoplan in the burst state. But I guess it doesn't matter as long as you have the position to play off of it. Ooh, frame tap into 2 heavy, but was already committed to the special frame trap or the special mix-up. Here we go, with a good combo. Right, letting it drop, probably a conscious choice not to go for the hard combo. Oh, I think Mai went for a throw, so this super will cleave her and put Hoplan on a very negative blood trajectory. A lot of options available here for both players. Bursts are ready to go as well. Miss on the 2 heavy. Mai did initially miss the whip punish, but was still able to prevent Hoplan from pressing any more buttons. Good spacing once again from Hoplan. Standing just outside of that elk hunt range, which is crucial range against Sinkisk on footsies. Get a knockdown on that last hit of bar slash sequence. One more. Clone tags Mai out of the sky, but Hoplan not able to utilize those blast frames. There we go with the clone Hukyo. We going in. Whipping with the 2 heavy once again, allowing Mai to start their pressure. Heavy into... Oh, but that's punishable. Hoplan not clearing the knowledge check. If Sinkisk is 0 stamina, then even on hit that Hoof Stomp and or Elk is gonna be punishable. It is so minus, it requires either the 50 meter or the follow-up to be comboed after. Here we go, DP into Super. Why does he have that? Nobody knows, but Sinkisk does what Sinkisk does. And RC. There we go, finally goes for the burst. Does not end up going for any of their defensive resources there, and Mai was baiting it so well as so much as well. I think it was like a mutual understanding, both players being on the same plane of existence in terms of Yomi. Mai being like, all right, you have almost 100 meter. You might reversal, so I'm gonna do some defensive, evasive maneuvers. But then Hoplan was also like, I have 100 meter, so it's so obvious that I'm gonna do this, you know, reversal RC potentially. First hit of 2 heavy, cancelled into the overhead Hoof Stomp. A maneuver you kind of just have to react to. It is a 23 frame overhead, which is borderline unreactable for some people, especially online. Which is one of the reasons why we call it in the business a pseudo high-low. The heavy buttons into Hoof or Elk. Here we go. Car cancel out of that into hard knockdown. Mai looking for one more hit here to go into the set point position, and she does! Could this be the first win for Matcha Mai on Bounty Hunters? Not if Hoplan has to say something about it, starting with a DP, starting with a very nice combo, and through the wall you go! Hoplan looking to stay alive here. Start DP does reach against whatever Hoplan was trying to press there. Just gets the tension a little too late, however, still getting the wall break, and now potentially guessing for their life. But 100 meter, 100 presses close slash. Are you kidding me? Hoplan with no fear whatsoever. Closing in on the prey. RC, what's it gonna be? Even if you DP here, you're gonna get numbed by the blood-sucking universe. And Hoplan still staying alive for now. Ooh, big counter hit, immediate burst out of the combo for Hoplan. Bar slash 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 is gonna bring that blood back. However, Matcha Mai not ready to give away that pressure. DP into drop and into close slash counter hit, into wall break with a super. So much happening for Sin. Plus frames, convert into the 5B whiff into throw. Here we go, Hoplan slash chance. They only have so little to spend. The DP, RC. There should be a wall break, and we can get a hard knockdown as well. No, missed the input there at the end. So now, Hoplan, is he gonna block? Oh, he's gonna pop, unfortunately. It was, it's so unfortunate. If Hoplan got that super would have been able to prevent the pop. He absolutely needed it. It's kind of weird. If you take that wall break with anything but the super, it's over. It's over, right? And because Hoplan missed the input in the heat of the moment, it will go into the next screen and pop as a result. And Mai says, no mercy, I'm gonna take it. This will be mine. Third time is the charm, as they say. 3 times it took for Mai to find the first W on Bounty Hunters, and it's gonna get better and better from here on out. Let me tell you that much. Really great play from Hoplan as well. We definitely welcome all, we've had fewer and fewer Nuggle players and Bounty Hunters as of recent. It used to Bounty Hunters used to not only be the Nago showcase, but also all the Finnish Nagoryuki players that we had available. It's kind of a throwback to the past for Hoplan to join our humble little event here. So hopefully seeing both players in the future as well. But now, let's cut the chatter about the matches that were and concentrate on the matches that are going to be. You know this guy already, Radune Leo, the showman. If you've ever watched Bounty Hunters, you've probably seen him. Very wild, plays his own game, does not negotiate with terrorists. And here we go with L. The second time we see L on Bounty Hunters. Another super welcome addition to the Bounty Hunters roster, being an Elfelt player. This character, I'm not gonna lie, very fun to watch, very fun to cast, very explosive character, very offensive oriented character. Now, downside for L is gonna be, you are gonna be once again playing against a DP character. And DP characters do have a certain advantage over Elfelt. It's kinda, they do say that it's kinda hard for Elfelt to transition into your Rekka pressure, because basically all of your entrance maneuvers will have a gap of some sort. So if you have a meterless reversal ready to go, you can technically RPS Elfelt on every single Rekka entry. However, once those Rekkas start going, it'll be kind of hard to challenge at that point, because she can go airtight into a low, which will, you know, catch your, in this case, will catch flash kick mashes, because by definition you would have to input upwards to go into your flash kick, so that means you're not going to be blocking low. So airtight lows, Rekka S into Rekka, is it K or P? I think K is, yeah, K is the low version, right? S into K would be one of the options that you can kind of just safely check if your opponent is holding a low block or not. Right, and you know what it's gonna be. I think it's heavy DP, right? Yep. You had to be there to see that for the 20th time. If you don't know Radune's round one, then it's your own fault. You didn't do research on your opponent, and here we go. Radune right off the bat, ready to maul, go through the wall, and since you are kind of softy as Elfelt Valentine, you're gonna take a nosedive here very early to the round number one, or game number one rather. Right, now with the shots, being very careful, not necessarily wanting to go straight into the Rekka, kind of gauging out Radune's responses. Are we actually DPing out of all of those hits? But Radune taking advantage of that hesitation, now putting L through the wall. L does have 50 available, so reversals are a potential. Neutral jump button waiting, but Radune was also waiting for what was to come. Not quite the 50 meter to DP RC, so now L is gonna have a clean DP punish force burst out of Radune. Into 1, 2, 3, not quite the wall stick, and then reading the DP at the end there and getting a throw. And it's one good feature for Elfelt definitely is that she is so strong with the throw, as against characters or players that DP a lot, you would love to have a very damaging call-out option. Normal characters might not get a whole lot out of that throw, but Elfelt can go into all sorts of nice setups. I think the most common being the OTG2 heavy into a grenade, into a true high-low mix-up. Ooh, nice reaction, sees the Berserker slash, throws it before it passes through. Radune waking up with a 2D. Good delay there on the parry stance. This is gonna go into a big combo. Could even be a kill. Not quite, I don't think. Not with the Season 3 damage nerfs. But L does have options. Deflect shield, sending Radune back to the full screen. Takes the burst as well. And L is gonna get it. Yeah, just barely drifting forward with that PRC into a sort of a panic conversion, perhaps. But it was enough to get the deed done. And what a first game. So many things happened there. Almost revolved into a chess match, going down to the wire already. Well then, this is what's it gonna be for the next 15-20 minutes, huh? Taking a little bit of a breather here. Reflecting on what just happened. I think you are definitely gonna need those moments, those breathers, to comprehend how Radune is bamboozling you. Here we go, just have to guess the high-low on that back turn Oki. Leo really classified as a character who you know, wants to get the ball rolling, maybe knock you down once, and then force you into a situation where you basically have to guess between a high and low. And that's not reactable either. Even though Leo's overhead startup is fairly high and would lead you to believe that you can react to those, it's in fact a lot of the startup frames are not animated very well, meaning that you have only so many, you know, visible frames to react to when it comes to Leo's overheads. Right, drifting into Primal Express into a combo. All right, I think that was made possible because of the blue RC there. Radune with the read on the back turn. But this won't be a hard knockdown. Ah, but we got so much reach here in the form of 2D. What is the startup of the Leo 2D, by the way? I'm trying to think if Elfold can challenge that with her bar slash. Should be able to, right? Because it's Elfold's bar slash is a pretty standard 11 framer. And I think most 11 framers should be able to beat round start 2D from Leo. Alright, fire the beam off screen into Rekas. Checking if Radune. Oh, hello? Are we good? Kinda looked like Elle disconnected here. Controller okay? Controller issues maybe? Alright. Phone call. And we're ready to go. Because we are playing with gentlemen's rules, Radune did stop the onslaught for a moment to wait for the opponent to come back. Such a nice guy. I'm not gonna lie, I would have probably taken it. Because I'm a rat like that. Deflect shield works out pretty well. Still leaves Radune in the parry stance. Ooh, that was very sneaky. Instead of going under, instead of going for the low, which generally tends up to be the winning option when you are facing the parry stance, chooses to cancel into Pineberry instead to go over and bait the parry stance strike like that. Here we go, micro dash, shake speed. Catching L out of that. Was that a Pineberry startup? And now goes into, ooh, it was very, very dangerous entry using the turbulence to go into your back turn on block. Gotta cancel super, should take the round, yes, no, barely not. 1 health left for Radune, but the perfect spacing on the sniper rifle. Putting L 2 points over Radune's 1. 12 frames? I think that was a response to the 2D starter, right? Yeah, so it would make a lot of sense if the 2D for Leo is 12 frames. So that would mean all standard far slashes should be able to beat it. Here we go. Is it gonna go through the wall? Yes, indeed. 50 meter available for L if he wants to try to go for the reversal super. RC into corner carry. This will not be a wall stick. We are working with a very nice position here. Catching the backdash attempt. Again, the 2D. That carries forward. If you did something here, forget about it. You just have to block. Even a block that super is quite a lot of plus, which Radune did utilize there, going straight into the Berserker slash. Spin trap, break the wall, get the super knockdown. And once again, looking for one more hit. Could go into a cross up, but chooses to go into a throw instead. Now L will have their work cut out for them. They're willing to spend the burst. Get out of the sticky situation, and with a 2D RC, once again, the missile launcher from mid-screen. That one button that you absolutely have to have some sort of a counter strategy against, especially when you're playing against Radune Leo. It's understandable that a lot of us have, you know, have struggled with that button. It kind of hops over your low, so if you try to fish with buttons like 2D, 2K, 2S, Leo's 2D has, you know, potential to just completely hop over it. So you would have to use your standing buttons instead. Once again, knocked down through the wall. L has almost full meter, almost 100 meter. Ooh, has to back RC out of that. I think I saw a startup of some button because L realized that whatever Radune chose to do is gonna land first. They had to just drift out of that situation. And now, good read here. Neutral jump will get a big punish. Tried to get a reset there, but Radune was ready to DP. And DP on his own pressure. But of course. Go cross up. All these mixes. The overhead catching from so far away. Alright. Is an option here. Going into, ooh, the jump out of that. Crossing into the other side. Radune though. Holy smokes. Ready to read it, ready to get it, and ready to take the lead in this third set of the week on Bounty Hunters. Looks like we are working with a fairly neck-to-neck kind of an event again. Ooh, nice, that was such a good option. Not even going into the small reward option there to air throw when you see that the opponent is air dashing over you, but instead timing your close slash perfectly to swap them out of the sky. Radune does not have a full burst to spend here, so we're gonna have to relinquish to the onslaught of L. What's it gonna be? Into... Oh! Pineberry empty into a backdash as a shimmy option. So it's really important to know when you perform the OTG2 heavy Pineberry Oki is that your overhead options will be vulnerable to DPs. However, if you go into the low option, which ends up being an empty 2K, that will allow you to block the S flash kick on the way down before you commit to the button. And then I guess you can, when you land on the 2K, it will be airtight if the opponent tries to mash a throw, but you could still play a shimmy there as well. I trade in Radune's favor, able to pop them up in the sky, go into the back turn. Back turn B, another really great anti-air. Radune able to flip the position into the most optimal configuration. Break the wall, didn't have any resources, so can't get the heart knocked down, but 2D again, immediate burst from L, able to still stay alive. RC will go into Bridal Express, and now into a throw. Radune has a super option here. Oh my god! A jump scare side swap, but still Radune able to get the flash kick out because that tool does not care about left-right. It is an up-down charge input. So whether L was on the right side or left side, don't matter. The flash kick will still come out. Two-game lead here for Mr. Radune. They're taking a little bit of a breather here, going back to the lobby. And we'll have to see how our Spanish Elfo player will be able to formulate a counter-attack from this point on. Being down on rounds, when if it's just 2 rounds, is not too bad. Still a position that you can flip around fairly quick. But the urgency does slowly creep in here. If Radune takes one more game, it's gonna be quite the amount of games that you have to run back in a row to make it comfortable again. Ooh, we're missing maybe being a little late on the 6B there. Or maybe try to anti-air with a close slash again. It is a risk-reward assessment in this game, where 6Bs tend to prorate so much that they don't really give you much reward. So then you have to consider, am I gonna 6B, am I gonna go for the reliable option, or am I gonna go for the big damage option, which would be like 5B or close slash? Oh, but now, speaking of that close slash, landing frames, tagged by Radune. or an attack by L from Radune. Wall slash punish, immediate burst from Radune. Knew that was going to be a lot of damage coming through, especially since L had a lot of meter to spend as well. Right, RC. Conversion. Yeah, comfortably to the wall. I think L was kind of in a mind space where they thought that Radune had the burst ready to go, but it didn't really end up mattering that time because you get the wall break anyway, even if you spent the RC. Oh, let's swap them out of the sky. Once again, the back turn heavy delivering with a massive hitbox. Too heavy, finding a hit on advancing Radune, shooting a couple of times. Oh my god, it's such a jump scare. Even after that shot, half screen, Leo has the ability to RPS with a massive reach, especially when combined with the 2D with dash momentum. Ooh, the multiple hits will actually break Radune out of that parry stance. The parry frames will only last until the strike goes active, right? A nice combo into Turbulence, put them in the corner, read the deflect shield, OTG attempt, but not quite finishing. Big chance for L to run this back. Land the hit, gold burst, even better for Radune. The timing on the parry stance was not quite there. That was a really good showcase on the RPS of how that parry stance for Leo works. So if you think your opponent will dash at you and try to go for a low like that, you will actually have to sort of release your parry stance early, because it will only guard against, you know, high profile moves, not lows. Alright, momentum burst in the corner. Let's see what L does. Has an option to burst still. Oh, doesn't even have to. The back turn incident is the name of the game here. Tried to go for a double jump, like getting caught by that SDP from Radune. 1-2, no resources, but we are converting into a tick throw situation. This character flows fast. Even if you don't have the most damaging conversions, you are over and over again put in those situations where you have to guess, strike, throw, or perhaps left, right. Get back in there, trade once again in Radune's favor. Enters the backstern with, oh, sees the DP coming out, but Radune also has the 50 meter to cancel out of it, make it safe. Burst is available for Radune here if he wants to try to still flip it around. Oh, never mind, we don't even need to go for that burst resource. We just Berserker slash out of the corner, go airborne, prevent L from pressing any buttons. Keep it going. Jump D, oh my god! If there's a Radune sequence that I've ever seen, that was one. The jump D ends up whiffing. It's like, alright, opponent is in the air, we DP, and it ends up hitting. Ends up striking through, taking Radune to a 5-3 lead here.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Alright, well placed far slash against that 2D from Radune. 1, 2, 3, basic combo. Oh, was a really awkward corner, so the ricochet from the gun didn't quite bounce into the direction that Ella wanted. Big counter hit. Do we have the counter hit conversions? Maybe we do, but maybe we were just not in the right headspace to go for it that time. Oh, or perhaps the reason why we dropped the combo was because there's something up here. Radune, of course, being the gentleman that he is, waiting for the opponent to potentially connect their controller or answer the phone or get the cat out of the way. Yours truly does have that problem nowadays as well. If you leave the door open, then the kitty is gonna come in meowing for your attention. There is only so much that Radune can give time for L here. It's funny because Radune is actually in a life disadvantage, so that's what I thought as well. Take the advantage at least. All right, ready to go? All right, mauling time. Bridal Express, really fast startup surprise poke that can reach almost full screen away, but will often combine only with 50 meter if you wanna combo after it. Although spacing out the Bridal Express perfectly will be a pretty okay situation as well, even on block, because it's theoretically plus frames if you set it up perfectly. Radune going to plant a couple of trees and then sneak behind. And I'm not sure if the players wanted to redo that one. I think there's convo going on in the chat. Of course, Radune with good manners offering L to completely redo that one.
Duel 1.
Alright, I guess the call is we're not gonna comp that one, so we're gonna reroll back to the 5-3 situation where L lost control. Nice, going in with the low. A little bit of the left, right. But nothing that confirms into big combos. Now Radune's time to play the shenanigans. Frame trap. Oh, no punish there on the turbulence. But did the turbulence actually hit L as airborne? Which would make it plus for Leo. I blinked and I missed it. Cool looking whip punish there. Holds the parry stance enough to get a whip, to get a punish on L's strike. However, the OTG into the hesitation there. Like we said earlier, you can go into the empty 2K airtight, even if your opponent is mashing a throw. But if you're hesitating and worried about their DP option potentially, that might give them opportunity to press buttons or even throw you out of your own setup. Ooh, that's great. That's gonna hit on Radune and potentially get the round even. RC and OTG is gonna be enough. Okay. It was a very, very late RC, but still able to make it. All right, here we go. Is Radune gonna burst? L, soft or hard-ish bait, dropping the combo here. Good read on the command grab once again. Forcing Radune to spend their burst resources. Now there's not gonna be a combo breaker for a while for either player. 50 meter ready to go for L. Gets tagged by the back-turned buttons. And Radune moves to 6 points. It's looking pretty tough. Radune has had after the initial like 6 or 7 matches, Radune has had just really good reads, really good success on not just neutral but all, I guess primarily on offense. Just have been sticking to L pretty consistently after putting them down. Yeah, this time doesn't respect it. Alright, we have the hard knockdown. He's gonna put Radune extremely low on hit points, but 50 bursts or 50 meter is available. Nope, with a 2K. I was about to say, so there is a DP bait-ish setup when you dash forward and perform the Pineberry, but I think that's probably not gonna work against Leo, as his DP is a flash kick and will basically autocorrect no matter, you know, no matter where you are on the screen. Hop over. Back to the more advantageous position. Immediately into the jump D. Sorry, the DP once again from the jump D. Nice, we are ready to throw that. Now the mix-up, what's it gonna be? Yeah, he went for the overhead. Overhead option is, of course, SDPable for Leo. Drop them in the corner. Is this gonna hit? Let's see. Put the hitbox to a test. It does hit behind, huh? And now, hard bait. Radune not biting, though! Radune with the balls of steel is able to save the burst into this potentially last match of the, or last round of the set. If Radune manages to get it, big value. 2D knockdown, here we go, dance through, left or right. At least L has been very consistently jumping out of those command grabs if something positive. 1, 2, 3, put them in the corner. One more hit. Oh, it's okay. Pretty clean. Looked a little late on the hit, but able to make that wall break. And now RC brings in with the second hit. That's so smart. That's basically the best play if you do end up using a non-low against Leo's parry stance. It's probably the best idea to just red RC immediately to produce another strike. And if your opponent did let go of the parry stance in order to punish you on that normal that connected, they are gonna be popped out of it by the RC strike instead. Right, but no sign of Radune slowing down the pace. The ball is gonna be in L's court to make this endless freight train stop somehow. Back the cross up once again and can't react to the throw this time. Or perhaps was just not ready to read it. And set point Radune. Here we go. SDP out of the skies. 2K 2D. But L still had the presence of mind to keep the Berserker Slash in the back of their head. See? And extend into the corner. Missed a shotgun, which could have potentially been a wall stick. Alright, knows that at that range, the 2D is gonna be punishable, so have to RC it to keep the pressure going. L, once again, the presence of mind on the throw. However, the DP RPS has been favoring Radune, but of course it does, because this man was tempered in the hell flames of all the flash kicks available. Place the knowledge check. Checking if Radune is respecting the rebounding projectile on the way back. Alright, dash through, burst them into the corner. Radune ready to press buttons immediately. 1, 2, 3, it's gonna be minus. Oh my god, again, the delayed TP, waiting for L to come back after their backdash, and one more would be it for Radune. Finds it with the Berserker Slash, and is gonna take the set 7-4. With the fast pace, fast plays, wild shit, back and forth. The patented Radune Leo gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. I had pretty good tools ready to go, especially the Berserker Slash were contested well, the command grabs were contested pretty well, but in the end, just not finding the hit consistently enough, and especially being sort of unable to find the biggest hits from Elfelt's toolkit, I think. Elfelt is a character that, you know, it's relatively simple to confirm into your BNB combos. I think the hardest part about playing Elfelt, or one of the harder parts about playing Elfelt, is to, instead of going for the cheap combos, is going into the most optimal combo from every hit. For example, the different counter hits will change your paths quite a bit. And I think it's like relatively important for Elfelt to squeeze most out of her confirms, because she does have a lot of damage available for most hits, and most importantly, she's not necessarily the most neutral oriented character. So you kind of want to make the best out of all the hits that you can get. Alright, but enough about that. We have our queers, the queerest matchup of the week ready to be launched. Let me ask the players whether they want the roles on chat or DMs. So the name of the game here is, of course, Random Character Challenge. NBLA and McNuggleton. Third time on Bounty Hunters for this format for NBLA. First time for Nuggies. Alright. So we are gonna go into the roll right away. We'll do NBLA's randoms first, and if I recall correctly, the players wanted to remove characters as they are being randomed. So for NBLA, it's gonna be Happy Chaos. Remove that, and then Nuggies is gonna get, that's a, by the way, that's a pretty good first random for NBLA, gotta say. Nuggies is gonna go with Sin. So if we do look at the spread of the power tiers here, it is probably fairly apparent that Nuggies is gonna be the underdog, having way more characters in the bottom side of the tier charts. And that said, yeah, Happy Chaos is one of the characters that NBLA is able to pilot fairly well. Let's see where the Sin is for Nuggies. Sin would be around basics tier. So right off the bat, it's gonna favor NBLA for sure. What is this tier list about? Okay, so let me explain. The left tier list is for NBLA's personal, how strong am I with all of these characters. It's kind of for reference. When the character is being randomed, you can kind of check, all right, so this player is kind of good with this character or not good with this character. And then of course on the right, you have the same for Nuggies. So it doesn't have anything to do with general objective power of the characters. It's simply how well do these players pilot these characters from their own perspective. To give us a little bit of a sort of idea when upsets, if we could call them upsets, happen. I flip the names around. Nuggies is on the left. And into it we go. And we should be probably seeing some pretty fiery Happy Chaos gameplay immediately from the first hit. Wall break, decent damage, keeping the pressure, keeping the resources alive. Let's see what Nuggies has with Sin. RC into the corner. And still keeping the position. However, one of the downsides of Sin, the air to ground buttons tend to not be very plus on block. Right, NBLA is gonna actually have a combo drop here. Back turn incident, allowing Knuckles to burst up. Oh, but getting thrown out of their setup. It was a really good attempt to run it back from Nuggies, though. This would have been a super big upset of sorts if NBLA actually dropped the first game with her Happy Chaos. Sinkisk is relatively easy to pilot though, so it's nothing like randoming into a Zato or anything like that. Basically, if you know the BMB combos, you could potentially have an opportunity to sort of surprise your opponent. Ah, but the trade here out of the Goopa Stomp. It's gonna be NBLA opening it up 1-0. Oh, I forgot to flip this in the right type of room, so let's do that right now. So put it in winner stays, and let's roll for our next characters. So for NBLA, it is gonna be Johnny, it looks like. For Nagis. Ooh, it's gonna be a hard one. Asuka, huh? Two fairly new characters. Let's see where Niamh's Asuka is. It is in the basics category. Or wait. No, it was Niamh who got the Johnny. Right, so the Johnny is... Where's the Johnny? Johnny is confident. Whereas the Asuka is not a big surprise, but in the bottom for Nagis.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
If they actually managed to get each other's characters here, this would have been a pretty decent opportunity for Nagis to run it, as the Johnny is one of the most recent additions to McNuggleton's repertoire. Alright, get the throw. Do we have the setup? Oh, it's I wonder if Niamh has the special moves in her head mapped out. Dash into the throw, charge a little bit of resources. Nagis does have the idea here for sure. Able to instant air dash past. Oh, what? getting absorbed by the cube, or rather, I guess the super absorbed the cube, rather I should say. RC into just about anything. Niamh chooses to still play it here. Instant air dash over the cube, but not willing to press a button. Trying to take a little more safe approach there. Here we go, loaded up the up Mistfinder, which ends up actually being a pretty good read here, because Nagis did jump out of that. I think the more basic spells Nagis is gonna get, the better for him. Because especially the utility spells are gonna be something that requires a little bit of extra experience in terms of how to utilize. But now Nagis completely out of the mana. Gonna be taking massive damage here. Instant air dash jump. Okay, just tag them out of there comfortably. 6p round start ends up calling out 6k from Niamh. You have basic projectiles ready to go. That was a really deep jump in here for Nagis. On the other hand, that hit quite high, so once again not being very plus out of that jump in, which Niamh did realize. What's my name? Having slightly limited range compared to Joker Trick. Another thing that, you know, would take a little bit of extra experience to adjust to, in terms of like which super should I use in what kind of situation. Now Nagi is looking for a potential last hit. Joker Trick, able to land it. And Nagi is just dangerously close to what a mana break actually goes into the bust mode. Let me buy some time. Charges quite a bit. That was a very brave charge. Charged maybe a little bit more than was safe there. But now once again back into the good defensive modifier. One more hit is all that it takes. Airtight hit there and sending the cube, which Niamh met with a forward dash. Nagi is in the board here. Right, for Niamh, we're gonna go with Ino next, it looks like. For Nagis, it's gonna be Nagis, it's gonna be Faust. Alright, let me check the... So Nagis is on the right, and Nagis got Faust. That would be not in the... Oh, it is in the bottom category, so basically 0 experienced territory. Whereas Niamh got Ino, which isn't super high, it's in the basics. Nagis is like, quick, give me Faust inputs. Help, send help, chat. It could be what makes ends up making or breaking it after all.
Duel 1.
Having access to some of the most important features, such as, you know, throwing items, quite an important feature for sure. And a bomb back as well. So this has historically been fairly, I don't want to say easy, but like straightforward kind of a matchup for Faust. Just having access to moves that are able to fill the screen completely, like that move right there, the Bigfoot 5K, has historically been very hard for Inno players to approach. So I think Nuggies is probably not gonna go wrong too much by pressing that button at neutral. Because Inno does have to try to approach you sooner or later. If she goes airborne, then the foot is a good option to tag her out. She would probably have to go for sequences such as stroke the big tree or try to whiff punish with Chemical Love to be able to catch Faust. You go into the mix-up. Wasn't tight though. Probably a good idea on layer 1 to disrespect your opponent's mix-up, especially if they are playing a heavy mix-up character. Niamh kicks the bomb out, able to somehow be out of the blast radius. Deflect shield, Niamh out once again. Nuggies has an opportunity here. One more hit for each player. Bomb back is gonna be the minefield that Niamh runs into with that stroke the big tree. Alright, we got all that we need. We also found the one and only jump 2K. One of the best dive kicks in the game available. For Faust, that is. Yeah, we got the hammer. Allegedly one of the best items that you could be throwing as Faust, as they do tend to tell you. Here we go. We have a little bit of a combo here. Got the wall break. But since that was a high wall slump, not gonna be able to run the basic slump pressure. Saw that Nuggies did throw a hammer, which Niamh did have to respect. Those hammers really are the kind of, you know, the big stop sign that forces the opponent to not approach you. Alright. But able to run with it. Second win for Niamh. What's it gonna be next? It's actually gonna be Faust for Niamh this time. And for Nuggies, we're gonna be running with... Is it Leo? Is it May? So close. It's actually gonna be May. So May versus Faust. Go back to the tier chart. Where is Nuggies with May? It is also in the 0 experience category. It's very long list of characters that you know, Nuggies doesn't have the most explosive time with. In terms of Faust for Niamh was in the strong category, of course. So if the numbers and the data is to be trusted, this should be a cakewalk for Niamh, right? But on the other hand, May is one of those characters who you kinda can get a lot of value out of just by knowing the basics of the Guilty Gear. You know, knowing basics of the Guilty Gear Strive and just, you know, basic strike throw. Use your close slash. Know your frame trap out of it. Play the throw option. And other than that, just, you know, schmove around. Use Dolphin. You can get a fairly basic game plan with this character. Oh, into the banana peel. Ends up not doing much. Oh, canceled a little too early, but still, wow. Is he actually gonna do it? Is he gonna make the massive upset happen? So far, so good. The weak tier character versus the confident tier character. Gotta Nice. Aborts the sequence just before the bomb goes off. 2S anti-air. But a good challenge from Nuggies as well. That was a slow dolphin though, so gave NiamH the ability to react with his XP. Right, spending a lot of resources to keep this pressure going, but it's still not done yet. It's the super. The bomb though is not gonna play any part in this interaction, however. Go, decent hit from the dolphin. Puts himself in the corner though, unfortunately. Jump out of the command grab. Is he gonna combo into the super, into the bomb? Not quite. Got the setup. Got the close land. Oh, but wait. I think NiamH probably blocked the wrong side there, expecting that was gonna cross up, perhaps. Wild Assault, eat an item, but misses the timing there, getting thrown for their troubles. So does Nuggies, though. Is this gonna be a battle of who gets to run their setups cleanest? But it ends up being NiamH this time. It was relatively close, though. Nuggies putting a little bit of a... Perhaps making NiamH sweat a little there. Alright. Moving on. So we're gonna go into Nago for NiamH for next one. And for Nuggies, it's gonna be... It's gonna be Johnny. So this will be relatively strong McNuggleton character in the basically confident tier. And for NiamH, Nago would be also in the strong tier, so gonna be a high power level. Is that the right way to put it? High power level match coming up next. One of the best of Nuggies versus one of the best of NiamHs.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Both characters are not the easiest characters to play, especially Johnny. Johnny's a little technical. You need your set play, you need your combos for sure. But since Nuggies has been playing this character recently, should probably have most of the basic Johnny stuff in their muscle memory. However, you are facing one of the characters to beat in Guilty Gear Strive, Cyborg Samurai himself, Nagoriyuki. That's actually gonna whiff, right? Yeah. Making sure that he's gonna get the most comfortable punish of their life. Drifting forward, out of that, put them in the corner. One more hit. Nagi's looking pretty good here. Slice. No risk whatsoever. Just checking if NiamH wants to block or not. And even if she does block, he's gonna give Johnny the guard break as well as a good mix-up setup afterwards. Stepping back and forth. He's really close to popping here. And even if she does not, the next damage combo would deal quite a bit of punishment. Ooh, air dash over. The Blood Rage pops, ends up hitting. Gotta be really careful here. NiamH does not have the 50 meter yet. And uses it to drift backwards. That was a fairly costly maneuver. And as expected, one of the strongest for Nuggies ends up delivering for him. But the thing is, I forgot to remove the Johnny for Nuggies, right? So get that out of the way. Like I said, that Johnny is not going to be appearing anymore. So the extremely strong characters in Nuggies' list dwindling down. NiamH is going to be running with Soul for the next one. And Nuggies... Looks like they're gonna be hitting Milia. The Milia is, I would expect it to be in the bottom category. Yes, being one of the more technical characters. Makes sense. Whereas Soul for NiamH was in the basics category. It's not the strongest, but you would have to definitely give an advantage to NiamH in the next one. Milia, if you don't finish your combos, if you don't know the setups, kind of like as if McNuggleton was playing Johnny in the previous matchup but didn't have any Johnny experience, is like you can't really get your setups going unless you finish your combos. That kind of goes without saying. And Milia, for the most part, is about those setup situations as well. To throw an even bigger wrench into it, Sol is one of the better DP characters in the game, and if you don't know how to run DP safe setups, then gosh, you're literally playing with bare fundamentals, huh? What you do have, you know, relatively accessible for this character though is the movement. Like many strong players should be, even if you don't know anything of Milia, you could probably start already using her mobility to your advantage. You know, have the triple air dash, make use of it, make use of her mobility, especially if you've played any fast characters in the past, such as like Chip or Geo or Elfelt, or I guess hell, even Ram is a very fast character. Alright, knows the frame data, get the punish. Just moving around without disc. This is no disc gameplay here now. No shame really into dumbing down your gameplay to the level that you can actually feasibly run. So like, not trying to overextend and to do stuff that is too fancy. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about. If you are not prepared to deal with the DP from Sol Bad Guy, it's kind of tough to run anything on Milia. All right, what's next? So speaking of fast characters, it looks like NiamH is gonna be rocking Chip next. And Chip is where it is, mid category for Nuggies. Looks like it is gonna be Kai. And Kai for Nuggies is, well, it's not in the 0 XP category, but still not the most confident pick. But this is relatively close, you know. Of course, this is not based on any exact science like we iterated earlier. This is simply the players, like how their own gut feeling about how well they can pilot these characters. So even if you have, you know, one player putting a character in the weak category, they could end up doing surprisingly well with it, and vice versa. There is some correlate like this, you know, depending on how highly you think of yourself, or how, you know, how much you downplay yourself, or that kind of features will of course end up playing around it. Now Nuggies pushed into the corner. DP way out, or even though they got punished, they got thrown out of the corner and then into the corner again. 6P into the right direction. Nuggies has a chance. DPRC, but do we have the combo? No, we don't. RTL should find the hit here and cleave it all the way to the end of the screen. And since this is such a high variance and low amount of time to, you know, adjust to your opponent's place, kind of a game mode, a lot of things can happen for sure. And who knows, Nuggies could get a very, very stray counter hit from like 6 heavy or 5 heavy here, and just, that would be that. This is with the 6P, really good whiff punish with NiamH. The backturn incident set up the art. Oh, nice! Kind of knowledge checking there for NiamH if she's ready to DP it, and if she is, then we're just drifting backwards and getting the punish anyway. Ooh, spinning deflect shield here. Ooh, but that deflect shield might actually end up paying off. assuming the defensive position, but no, the Jumpy ends up swapping McNuggleton out of the sky. But that deflect shield that they ended up spending there will now end up being a little bit of a disadvantage here. We'll have to work towards that full burst potentially. 2D as an anti-air, alright. And it ends up trading favorably for Nuggies. But here comes NiamH with the pressure. Oh, DP against DP. Nuggies tries to reach for the ninja. Back turn in it. Once again, no DP to be seen from that heavy fireball setup. Oh, that was actually a true punish, I think. Dragon install. Here we go. What can he do with it? Oh, it's a complete whiff on it. We could have a potential chip kill here. But Chip, Zaneth himself. And dashing over the fireball, dashing DP one more. The DP is baited so close. Ends up going down to the last interaction. One DP, any DP, back or from either players would have taken it. But it ends up being NiamH this time. And no time for regrets. Time to roll more. Nuggie still does have their ace card in there. The Baiken. NiamH is going to be running Milia for this one. Let's see, Milia is in confident category. And Nuggies is going to get Jacko. Which again is a fairly technical character. I'm not seeing it. There we go. So it is in the 0 experience category for Nuggies. So this might potentially be, you know, this will be tough. But it won't be the end of the road for Nuggies, even if he loses this one. There is still one more game of a buffer. Oh, let me change this scene as well. Jacko does have a couple of really strong buttons to play with. We have, of course, the classic 2D. 2D does require you to know a couple of the special moves, because, you know, it is... you know, maybe it's not too bad, because you are playing a non-DP character here in terms of Milia. So you're not gonna be, like, straight up punished out of your 2Ds unless you know the right cancel option. But you do have other good buttons as well, like 5 heavy. Really nice one. They have good anti-airs. I mean, 5k, 2k, pretty good. Fire Slash, pretty okay. I mean, none of those really stand out, I want to say, because Jacko's kit kind of revolves around having your minions to back you up. Here we go. Trying the close slash on Airborne, get a little bit of a combo. Is NiamH gonna switch the positions? Yes, indeed. Into RC, get the knockdown, set up the disc. Flowing pretty well for NiamH. I guess the only downside is that you're not kinda scoring maximum damage out of your combos, but looks like that's not gonna slow NiamH down too much. Alright, but if there ever was a time for Nuggies to roll that bike, and it is probably now. Because it's getting kinda tough. It's gonna be Saruto for NiamH, which is a fairly technical character. Let me check where NiamH's Zato is located. It is in... Where is it? Strong category? Uh-oh. Nuggies will have Soul. Which again, it is not in the bottom category, but it is a not so confident pick for Nuggies. So they're gonna have to clear another very strong character from NiamH with a not so strong character from their own toolkit to have a chance of, you know, get to that coveted bike and pick, hopefully in the future. But question here is, does NiamH have the active muscle memory for Zato? How recently have you played this character? Here we go, air to air, jumpy. Next to throw whiff from Nuggies. RC shenanigans as well. DP rings true. Nuggies is gonna have a couple of seconds to push the offense before NiamH can summon again. Speaking of the summons, yeah, there we go. Flows pretty well, I think. Nuggies is gonna need a miracle here. It is set point for NiamH. 6S rings through, but hard to confirm. Unless you spent Red Wild Assault. Basic thick throw. Oh, yeah. Dogging in. With those dash cancels. I mean, you are technically a strike throw character. One of the best, so just close slash into another throw or close slash, I guess. Sol being one of the few characters who has +3 close slash after all. There we go. With the use of that Wild Assault, finally hit confirming out of that 6S that they weren't able to get a hit confirm earlier. The 6S from Sol used to be, for a while, a button that was really awkward to confirm out of, but now with the inclusion of Red Wild Assault on Sol's kit, much more easier to make those hits work. Out of the corner we go, and a big counter hit! Even with the basic 1-2-3, Sol is gonna deliver some pretty decent amount of damage on a Zero Guts character like Zato. That was a really good call. However, got the purple RC, which was not the most optimal. The RC would give you an extra strike. Counter hit, one more. Finds a 2P, no confirm. Any hit is gonna do. RC into. Good tech, but it's not enough. He lives. Here's him. He succeeds. He gets another chance to roll into the Baiken. So this is still not the, you know, it's not looking too good for Nuggies, but it is possible at this point. There are universes where McNuggleton actually makes a good roll here and is able to get ever so closer to NiamH. Let's see what's it gonna be. And NiamH could roll still into that Potemkin, right? Not gonna be this time, though. It is gonna be Ramlethal. And for Nuggies, let's see, Ram is in the fairly confident category. Ah, so close to the Baiken, but not quite. It's gonna be Axel instead. And where's that Axel? Axel is, don't let it be in the bottom category. All right, it is not. It is actually in basics category. So if we consider all the data, there is a fighting chance here.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
So just keep them out. I think from what I've heard from SQ talking about this matchup, this is like not the, this is like a matchup where you don't necessarily get to utilize your Ramlethal factor too much. You kind of have to dance to Axel's pace to a certain extent, right? And having in a low experience matchup like this, having the first say when going into the match is super important. Now, I'll get the, wait, that's missed the jump there between the hits, huh? All right, Nuggies gonna be sent high up in the air. Do we have the combo? I think not this time. Good 6B. If something, Ramlethal does have that working out for her. Misses the close slash, but no worries. We're using that as a frame kill. Apparently this time around, DP in the form of Mortobato. Back throw. We're playing some close range pressure here. He's going in very aggressively here instead of holding down the fort. 2K2D. Into Rainwater. Super jump, air dash, out of the corner, Wild Assault. We do have that, even though we are a zoner. Oh, misses the finisher. but got so close. Any hit, even something, even a special move on block was so smart for NiamH to actually hold on to that FD in the air. Otherwise, that Axel Bomber would have probably been the end of them. And here we go, big starter. Was the 2S or too heavy? Into the corner you go. Close slash on airborne opponent again. And this time, McNuggleton does convert that. Far slash is a very potent way of running the pressure. Sorry, did I say close slash? Far slash, I meant. Here we go, Pops. McNuggleton out of the corner. McNuggleton has quite a lot of meter to spend here, but would probably need some sort of hit to make it count. That command grab is gonna be way too slow. NiamH with the backdash reaction against the full screen corner command grab. Here we go, I think that's gonna hit. NiamH doesn't have anything to get out of this. The RC and the OTG is gonna be enough. Kill him once again. Against all odds, or I guess not against all odds this time. This was still relatively doable. Kind of like, you wouldn't consider this to be an upset, considering their power levels with the characters. But still, Nuggies. If you go into this matchup looking at these tier charts, would you say that Nuggies has any chance of survival whatsoever? No, right? So next for NiamH is gonna be Testament, and for Nuggies is gonna be, see where Testament is in the super strong category for NiamH. So we'll have to roll a good one here. It's gonna be Jungie. Jungie is unfortunately in the bottom category for Nuggies. Is it gonna be what ends up making or breaking the set? You know, it is a high variance format, and basically the factor that determines how good or how likely you are gonna win in this format is having as many strong characters and as few weak characters as possible, because that gives you a better opportunity to roll into a matchup that you have a higher chance of winning. But I guess this is do or die. Pick your bottom feeder and try to make it past the opponent's strong character. But again, basic strike throw. We could play basic Guilty Gear Strive and still come out as a victorious. And I mean, you have your reversal super as well, which technically Testament doesn't have to interact with too much. Alright, break the wall without a hard knockdown. Very brave summoning the butterfly there, but the big hand, even out of that backwards momentum of the back instant air dash, or a back air dash. Not able to get Nuggies out of there. A couple of good hits. But of course, the more experienced player is gonna get the party started faster. NiamH did go for a hard bait on the burst there. And another one, this time a little bit softer. Nuggies can't really hold that burst with good conscience anymore. The second hit of the Grave Reaper is gonna break the wall. 50 meter for Nuggies. What's it gonna be? Dances into it. 2K, too slow that time. The only way the knockdown would have probably been Midare, and this should be the kill. The girls are gonna take it to the left wall. And that's how the cookie crumbles for this iteration of Random Select FT7. NiamH takes it over McNuggleton. However, look at this score. Again, I wanna say it again. If you look at these tier lists, would you ever guess that this is gonna end 4-7? No way, right? My best guess, like my most wild guess for this would be Nuggies gets like 2 games? But yet still, we got so close to it, and if I wish Nuggies got the big W, got the big S there, and random into the bike and pick, but alas, it never manifested, and that's how it goes in the Random Select world. Let's jump into the next one. Entering the latter part of the show, we're gonna have RageWolf and Talla next. Okay, I guess it should be mentioned that that was technically the first random pick victory for NiamH. because they... Who has Niamh played against? I think it was SQ and Marvel Big Wheel, two like decently big names, very long time ago. But I think things were quite different back then. All right, but enough talk. We have another Bridget mirror 2 weeks in a row. RageWolf representing Spain and Talla hailing from Denmark. Who's gonna get the setups? Who's gonna get the knockdown?
Cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves,
Of course, being Bridget on both the receiving as well as the giving end of things, we do have DP available. So gotta set up your, gotta maintain your setups as tight as possible. Lots of reads, or sorry, lots of reach. Oh, let's fix the names as well. And Talla is gonna be rocking the left side. So Talla with the black Bridget, RageWolf rocking the pink one, not the pink one, but the purple one, if you will. Players expended their burst here. Next hit is gonna be big. Who gets to put the opponent down and start the get the ball rolling, or the yo-yo for that matter, I guess. Right, 6B committing completely into the yo-yo troll mix-up. It's gonna be the RPS a lot of the time. Is your opponent gonna commit to a full rolling movement jump in, which can, depending on the situation, the spacing, the plus frames, and the like, can put you in the harm's way of anti-airs, but there's always an option to break your rolling movement as well prematurely, such as this, which could throw a wrench into, you know, your opponent's plans. Oops, Talla with a quick combo. And a lot of resources to spend as well. 6B, immediate burst. Oh, but RageWolf made... Did they both throw it? Talla ends up being more powerful this time. The jump D, the very delayed overhead, gets the mix-up in. And we're going for another one. And another one.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Bridget kind of does resemble Ino in certain ways. In the way that she runs her mix-ups. Like the multiple re-jumps into new mix-ups that you will eventually have to kind of challenge. Alright, drifting into safe distance, finds a 2S starter, and that should be the game with the use of the wall break damage. Talla started really strong. Oh, let me actually put the room back to how it's supposed to be. Put it on rematch so that we don't have to necessarily jump out between every single game. So it did look fairly strong for Talla initially, but then RageWolf claiming the first game nonetheless.
Mankind knew that they cannot
A lot of
change
players have
society.
called this matchup a silly little mirror. But let's see how silly it's gonna get from here on out. Nice whip punish there on, I think it was 2P from RageWolf. Set up the yo-yo. That's the passive one, or wait, that was the active one actually. Scooter into the close range, went in with the very risky throw read, which the opponent ended up initially reading. Get a quick hit, 1, 2, 3. Didn't get the super cancel. Wait, that was yeah, that was Talla. So she did have the resources to spend, but just wasn't able to input the super in time. However, nice combo execution and Bridget's ability to basically corner carry with most of her combos. Ooh, 6P. Bouncing RageWolf into the wrong direction, or perhaps the right direction, depending on your point of view, because that corner, that left corner, was much closer than the right one. There you go, RC into an empty. Did block the first ground, the first low properly. But then the frame trap into 2D ended up being the counter hit one. Oh, just moving to the other side. This time the throw works out. All right. Varying their options, Talla evens it up 1-1. It takes a little bit of bravery to have played that exact same situation earlier, and considering how risky throw options are compared to like if you consider how much damage you're gonna take if you get read out, and the fact that RageWolf did jump out of the previous stick throw situation, it takes quite a bit of courage to go for the same option again and say, all right, I think my opponent will respect that I sort of will rotate my options, if that makes any sense. Or rather, I will respect my opponent that they will rotate their options like that. Damn, I'm confusing myself sometimes. I could block on the jump D, tricky to block overhead, and again, Talla pressing it. How many can we get? As long as the yo-yo is in the air, you have an option to go into the rolling movement. Now drifting forward, checking RageWolf on the backdash into the command grab. And especially when that rock the baby comes from an airborne state, it's very tricky to react to. It kind of looks like a jump in, does it not? Now RageWolf's time to set up the chop. Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good idea. So let's add the colors to the names. See, is this too long? There we go. That's 200 IQ. The kind of high IQ plays that you would never expect from bounty hunters or QK. That makes it way more easy to follow this match. And RageWolf going into a side swap conversion. Sets it up, close slash counter hit. Momentum burst, keep Talla in the corner. Good block on the overhead, but Talla's decided this is enough of this. I want to run some stuff as well. But again, the deep dash into a throw option keeps getting baited by RageWolf. Or rather read by RageWolf. Because Talla would be the person who is imposing the mix-up on the opponent in that situation. Nice snipe there. With the active hitbox of the yo-yo going out, RageWolf taking the lead once again, but not by too much.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Both players playing relatively safe distance. Long deep dash 6B ends up ringing through as a counter hit. Talla the one who gets to set up the yo-yo first. Sweep out of that approach. Now RageWolf has the corner, has the setup. Time to run it, Talla. Doesn't want to take that. But the setup is DP safe. That's the thing we were talking about earlier. Can you make your setups DP safe? And who has the courage to DP the opponent's setups? Milking everything out of this conversion, was probably planning on going for a kill. But eventually has to drop it. Good reaction though. Sees Talla go into the rolling movement. Or perhaps that was just the instant air dash. Good anti-air nonetheless. Dancing around. Once again, the Talla's deep dash into a throw ends up being read by RageWolf. The tool of the trade seems to be instant air back dash. They're gonna get in there in time. RageWolf did have an opportunity to block there, but chose to try to jump out of that sequence, and the Roger Super advances very fast and locks in on the opponent. Doesn't really give a whole lot of moving room. Now Talla pushing it again, this time close slash. Holding it down, super, should deal enough damage, especially with the wall break. Last hit, yes indeed.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Wow, Talla was basically at the very last pixel of that far slash. Oh, F-Shiki, and converting it as well. The downside is going into that, ended up popping Talla out of the corner. But I guess it doesn't matter too much. If you manage to land the next hit, you have a lot of corner carry as Bridget. Get the hard knockdown. Now both players very high on resources. Full bursts, 50 meter. What's it gonna be? RC to extend the pressure. Well timed 6P. But now Talla will have to spend their blue burst and had to spend a lot to even try to get into a mix-up position. Which RageWolf just not ready to yield just yet. Seems like I think the feature that does stick out for RageWolf is the ability to keep the pressure going. Once you get your opponent there, just able to keep them on the defensive as long as possible. Again, with the F-Shiki, this time doesn't manage to confirm it properly. But the most important thing is that you don't lose your pressure into the throw. Yeah, this is what RageWolf has been pretty good at. Just converting into combos that finish properly and then going into the next mix-up and just flowing and flowing and flowing and never letting your opponent out of it. Doesn't matter if you sometimes land like just small hits, as long as you can repeat the situation over and over. Talla did manage to land a 2K, but not going for a conversion here. Here we go. Close slash, immediate burst from RageWolf. Alright, hops back into the neutral, close slash, pulls RageWolf out of the sky. Ooh, I guess that's what RageWolf wanted to do earlier. The knowledge that the Roger Super is gonna be whiffing there. But this time, no way out, just have to respect it and take the plus frames. Talla is gonna be counter hit out of her own pressure strings, and now RageWolf has so many resources to play with. DP, RC, yes indeed, we still got it. Too heavy ends up swinging a miss. But here comes the Kodak Super. Enough to break the wall and get the kill. Very nice. Cutting the combo very short at the most optimal moment. That must have been like on the pixel. Just enough to kill. Perhaps even just enough to get the wall break. Because that hit came from fairly far away for RageWolf. Alright, RageWolf is starting to mount fairly decent lead here. And Talla will have to find some sort of responses to this situation. It's definitely one. Hopping over the lows. Here we go. I think RageWolf tried to go for an anti-air there, but the timing wasn't quite right. With punish on the Roger dive. And back into the corner with you. We have so many resources as well. This pressure should not end anytime soon. Guess high-low? No, just ends up playing it very safe. Keep the pressure going. And last pixel. But even if RageWolf manages to land a hit here or a knockdown here, this will be a fairly tough comeback to make. A little bit of yo-yo handshake. There we go. I wonder if the kickstart was minus it, or rather plus enough to press buttons for a RageWolf. Oh, it was a dangerous looking whiff there with the 5 heavy. Here we go, skipping forward and cashing out on all that respect. Into the throw. Alright, finding the frame trap into close slash, but not able to convert it, RageWolf. Ooh, very nice. Using a too heavy as an anti-air to reach much further compared to your 6P. Even though Bridget's 6P does reach quite far away, if the opponent is baiting grounded anti-airs, you would much rather go with a too heavy that can reach almost to the top of the screen. Oh, nice timing there. And here we go, DP with RC. That could actually be almost a kill. That will end up being a kill. Very nice presence of mind from RageWolf. Alright, set it up. Meeting RageWolf in the air with the aggressive yo-yo and preventing them from getting value out of their passive one. This is the clean setup, but we still have the corner. Gets the hit, but puts herself in a disadvantageous position. Only for a moment, though. Because now the block string with the RC will actually take RageWolf to the east side. I see, do we get the side swap? I think RageWolf, yeah, has done the same combo many a times over. That looks so cool as well. I think it's, for a character like Bridget, who has so much combo potential in terms of like how you bounce your opponent around, having those side switch combos and, you know, corner carries and everything like that sorted out is super important. But now Talla has responded in kind, saying, you know, not ready to let you run away with a decisive lead just yet.
Mankind
Able to hold RageWolf still.
Duel 1.
Play resources optimally. Wow, that was a very deep dash. Talla, you rogue. Were you going for a throw there, perhaps? Alright, breaking the kickstart before reaching the opponent, RageWolf. Players have spent their bursts. Both players also reaching the 50 meter at the same time. RageWolf spending it to find a small hit though, but not getting a whole lot of value out of it. Skipping a hop forward. And 2S preventing the opponent from running in. Here we go, close slash pressure. Set it up. Talla backdashing out of it, but then the yo-yo goes off eventually. Here we go, let's see your best DP punish. Close slash into fully charged 5D. Dropped it for a moment, but luckily dropped it in a corner, which did give RageWolf the opportunity to have still close slash pressure available. F-Shiki didn't quite get the knockdown there. I wonder if the 2D at the end is supposed to hit still, which would make it fairly valuable F-Shiki setup, right? I really like from Talla these like overheads into overheads into overheads. Kinda same way as you would on Ino do like a hover dash, overhead, overdash, overhead, hover dash, overhead. Just kinda transition into the next overhead faster than the opponent has, you know, time to react what's going on. Nonetheless, it's gonna be RageWolf taking this game once again. And the 3-game lead persists for RageWolf. Oh, that was minus enough on that kickstart break. And allows Talla to get started here. Round number 8. Or rather, game number 8. No anti-air, just empty jump there. Lots of respect back and forth. Ah, here we go. Didn't get the... Was probably not ready to punish with the biggest of starters. Sometimes you just have to take what you're most comfortably gonna get. That time it ended up being the 5K. Baiting. Talla not believing in the bait this time, since RageWolf was kinda close. Roger ends up saving the day and putting an end. A little bit of a stop. Hammer time. Kind of a card. Roger Super does not end up dealing too much damage, but depending on your screen position as well as like resource situations, especially live, it can be the best possible option for you. Misses the F-Shiki this time. Still able to press the situation. Talla with 6p and has 100 meters to spend here. Ooh, nice bluff there. RageWolf was not ready to contest that one. So generally, you can perform your block strings as Bridget player in the way that in a place where you would think, or where your opponent would think that you're gonna keep with your pressure string, you instead cancel into the yo-yo setup, and if they don't react, you're gonna get massive value out of that, being able to reset into a rolling movement, potentially. Alright, /5 heavy, or was that 5 heavy, 5 heavy? Talla? There's good use of FD from RageWolf, able to push Talla basically half screen away from that mixed position. Momentum burst as soon as RageWolf manages to land the hit, but won't be able to contain him in the corner, and here comes RageWolf with the mix-ups into a throw. Oh, I think that's gonna catch! Oh, and it's gonna go into a funny direction, but I don't think that affected the maximum amount of hits that RageWolf got out of that. With punish, very great. But now need to find the last hit. Talla backdashes out of the situation. We have Yo-Yo ready to go, but the 2P is gonna counter poke that deep dash 6P from Talla. And RageWolf will move on to the ever so important 6 points.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on
Right, it's gonna be a tough run back for Talla, but definitely not something that couldn't be achieved. Ooh, look at that! Canceling the rolling movement very early into, is that jump B? Or jump slash? And actually ended up counter-poking RageWolf from his anti-air attempt. There's just so much cool stuff in this matchup. It might look really silly, it might look like there's just, you know, same stuff is happening, but for my eyes, I wish I had played Bridget more in the past myself, because there's just a lot of cool little, you know, timing and spacing stuff. Especially with the rolling movement. As you can see, here we go. Lands the hit with the jump D. Very difficult to block. Even though you don't get the nasty ass mix-up that you could in the previous patches, it is still a very impossible to see mix-up between jump D and, you know, the empty low, due to how jump D kind of holds your momentum in the air. Alright, set it up. Into a throw. Wait, was that RageWolf who was on the offense, or was that a back throw incident? Blink and you miss it. Guilty Gear, I love you. Oh, Talla with 2k. Talla can still afford to lose this, but absolutely cannot afford to lose this next one, for this is the first set point for RageWolf. With 1-2 with the yo-yo break, or the kickstart break. Ooh, good catch there. Forcing RageWolf to use their bursts. Talla definitely has an advantage here. There we go. Goes between the hits, DP. Very, very rare sight for either of the Bridgets to DP in this matchup. But what a better place to bring it out than on the last set of the match, potentially. Momentum burst, get back into the corner. However, RageWolf says no. Is that gonna be enough? Set it up. DP for the barn. Bet it all. The car, the dog, the cats, the yacht, everything. But RageWolf that time was blocking and cashes it all out 7-2 in this Bridget mirror. Alright, cool stuff. 2 more to go. And we have fairly high level high skill level ones as well. Of course, the Blodboen versus Maria matchup looming at the end, but before that, we are gonna go into more Bridget action momentarily. It's gonna be two setup neutral heavy characters. Decoys now, bringing the Jacko into the mix once again. Decoys now one of the extremely loyal Jacko players ever since the release of the character. Facing off one of the intermediate slash advanced Bridget players. We actually have a lot of Bridget players around that skill level where they're kind of like looking to move into the big boys and girls leagues, but kind of dancing somewhere in the between the, I guess if you want to talk in rating update terms, somewhere around the like 1.8k range is what a lot of players tend to plateau around. So we got word from Whammel said that Decoy might be sleeping at the moment. If that is the case, we should probably ping Blodboen and Maria to check if they're ready to go. Oh, never mind. They're here. Decoy, ready to play. No problem. Give me a second, doing a little bit of last second TOing. Alright, so Decoy, I think Decoy hasn't faced any Bridget players on Bounty Hunters so far. Is that true? No, actually, no, that is not true at all. For Decoy Snell's two first matches on Bounty Hunters were in fact against Bridget, or Whammel Bridget. So this is a throwback match from all the way from the mid of 2023. So Decoy had it over Whammel on their first meetings, as far as I can remember. Around 7-4 both matches. They went back to back, wanted a rematch quick. The situation didn't change back then, and now we are once again going into the Jacko versus Bridget. The matchup where historically Decoy is the aggressor. The what's the opposite of an underdog? Up dog? Is it where Decoy is the up dog? Upper dog? Please help me. Your girl is completely dysfunctional when it comes to English language. Not much. How about you, RageWolf? Anyway, we'll basically get to see if Whammel, after around a year-ish of, playing the game more, if we can make the status quo change. Can we take down that demon that was in the past?
So instead of reflecting on themselves, have it for hell.
トリックオアトリート。どんなお客さんも大歓迎です。
So I think the tricky thing for Bridget in this matchup is you're probably gonna be facing a lot of incoming minions. I I wonder if Bridget has good buttons to sort of challenge incoming thrown minions. Of course, you have pretty good access to your opponent from half screen, from full screen. You have your far slashes, your 5 heavy sequences. You have kickstart. Kickstart gets, you know, gets to skip to the opponent's guard very fast. But if Decoy Snail manages to get the minion game started, how is Whammel gonna break out of that? I guess the answer is one potential option is you don't have to deal with any of that. Just keep the pressure going. Decoy hasn't managed to basically do anything this round so far. Break it. This will not be max damage because you are so high up, which probably ended up being the make or break here. Has to go into the next screen. Set it up. Good FD there on Decoy, realizing that Whammel could probably be in a prime anti-air position, and she was indeed ready for that. Here come the minions, though. Staying fairly safe there. Ooh, the 6B ends up destroying both the minions and cancel into kickstart. Gets Whammel out of there. This time, 6B a little too early. Of course, you have to have your timing on point. Go with the big throws, set up the sandwich. Decent number of minion gauge. Deflect shield puts a little bit of distance between them. 2D won't be able to low profile enough, of course not. Roger's gonna save the day and using the blue wild assault. Going corner to corner, getting, I wonder, well, 2 side switches is better than 1. Hold this. Come down with minus frames. Utilize the tick throw situation there. Ooh, brave buttons from Decoy there. Able to flip the situation, and now, as we usually say, when you get in this... Oh! Yeah, momentum burst. Where you gonna go? They're trying to find each other in the air. It's especially tricky when you are... When one player is so high up in the air and the other is so low to the ground that you can't basically see each other anymore. And you're kind of like, all right, what is the opponent doing? You kind of have to approximate what's gonna happen, what's gonna come from the sky. All right, Whammel opens it up, and I think compared to where we were last year, Whammel especially has improved greatly. I think Whammel was like in a... It's a little hard to remember, but like it's a rather recent thing, like the last half a year or so, where Whammel really started popping off in terms of you know, performance in a lot of these public events, double elimination brackets and stuff like that. Good 6-speed, once again deleting minion. So far, the answer to our question, will Bridget be able to break the incoming minion, seems to be yes, yes she can. In worst case scenario, use this super and just force Decoy Snail's minion to despawn. Here we go, good block on the overhead. And oh, Whammel, you rogue. Persevering through all of that. You know, we tend to say how goddamn difficult it is to defend against Jacko, especially when she has a couple of goons out and pushes you into the corner. But Whammel so far has escaped on several occasions from that desperate situation. Good deflect shield. The easy way out of safe jumps, as you would. Now throw them. Is it gonna be enough? Should get a wall break out of this, which means the next damage to come is gonna be, you know, that guaranteed chunk of damage. Enough to get another one for Whammel. Alright, 2-0. So far, so good. Perhaps, just maybe, Whammel will be able to flip the situation on its head after all. Maybe even perform 7-4 herself, or even better. See how it develops from here on out. Decoy hasn't gotten to play all that much, I gotta say. Had like a couple of those situations where they contained Whammel in the corner, but Whammel's good defense got her out of there. Here we go. Now you have to defend against this, though. Oh, good escape. If Decoy got the block string going there, they could have gone into the activate buff, and Whammel's life would have been really miserable after that. Decoy also a certified reaction times gamer, standing up for all of these overheads. And just skip out of there and drop a couple of bombs on the way out. A minion making sure that Whammel's not gonna do anything funky there. Might drop him again. Left, right. Where's it gonna come from? Sandwich. Whammel is very close to a burst here. Chooses to spend it on Deflect Shield. And most importantly, when you use Deflect Shield, don't just use that and do nothing. Go for the Whiff Punish afterwards, which is exactly what Whammel went for. And that's gonna get Whammel the left corner. Decoy Snail has also lots of resources to defend with here. And a good timing, this should go past, yes indeed, straight into the command grab, or the strike throw rather. The what do you call it? Hit grab, that's the word I was looking for. Wow, Snail opens it up too. Couple of good reads. Funny thing is, neither player so far has been able to run like overbearing pressure. Eventually, like both of them have been defending so well that eventually both of them just get out of the pressure strings. Ooh, got the minion kick there still. But Whammel's been so good at decimating those incoming minions, and again, picks up the perfect tool for the job. Now this time, avoiding it, get caught by the parry. Ooh, unfortunate for Decoy, vacuumed Whammel out of the corner, so now has to go back to neutral. Found the hit, find the mix-up. And looking so far so good, get the heart knockdown. And actually that's gonna get straight up kill. Slowly but surely, it seems like Decoy is waking up a little. Ooh, got frame trapped by that kickstart. Minion parry the incoming yo-yo, that's kind of cool. And below into rolling movement, overhead, more overheads. And this time it's gonna convert big time. Wall break. Yes, get it. Choosing to use burst here to take the wall heart knockdown instead of the meter. And now, this pressure string. I was gonna say this pressure string never gonna end, but perhaps expecting a very offensive, aggressive option from Decoy Snail, perhaps a reversal super. Alright, Starships ends up doing enough damage as a chip to take that round. Nice, 6P cancelled into nothing. Tends to be for majority of the cast be so minus that it gets punished. No difference here, or basically the same thing here. Cancel into an early wall break. Look at the damage. Bam! Ow! That stinks. And now Decoy. What we're gonna go into? Deflect Shield does push even the 5 heavy, which has a considerable amount of forward momentum. Back to mid screen. Yeah. Separating. Ooh, that hit comes from so far away. I think one of the features that has changed quite a bit is Whammel's ability to challenge at like mid or almost full screen-ish, so Decoy doesn't get as many opportunities to run, like take out minions and throw minions at all. Activating blue buff, this means the minions can't be counter-poked now, so they will stay in the arena. Ooh, and cleaves all of them at once as soon as the buff goes off, or goes, expires rather. Good anti-air, was that 5B? Just a casual tap into the minion, playing a little bit of ping pong, and brings it 2 games even. All right. Well, that's the early game. What do we got next?
Mankind knew.
It's as if these players have kind of been playing this matchup before. Huh. Fancy that. Ooh, that was kind of cool. So Decoy's now sending the minion in a much more of a downwards arc, so that Whammel 6-speed didn't end up colliding with it. Go under the yo-yo with 2D. I'm getting a whole lot out of that though, and now have to take pressure in the corner. YRC, please get me out, but YRC, oh, okay, it kind of works out. Yo-yo, hard forcing through the minions and decimating all of them. Wait, aren't Jacko's minions supposed to be kind of strong against other projectiles? What is Pritchett's yo-yo considered? Is it just a normal projectile? Need to keep eye on that for future interactions. Very nice instant air dash, but wait, what was he looking for? I think he was worried about a burst that wasn't there, maybe. That was a totally great instant air dash read over that projectile from Decoy's now, but for whatever reason, the sequence just ended right there. Unfortunate.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Loses the minions if already active. Yeah, that's kind of what I would assume based on my general knowledge of the characters. Alright, DLC 2K, low profile enough to maintain status under the yo-yo. And now Whammel with a very overwhelming life advantage here. Oh, dive kick coming, but the 2S has the perfect angle of that dive kick straight above Jacko. Misses the hard knock, or misses the knockdown. There actually wasn't any option for Decoy to heartbreak that because they were out of burst and tension. The rare moment when you can't get a clean wall break in Season 3. Right, nice placement of the minions. Still has one, baits the burst, and set up the shot. All right. Ooh, but got out of there before Decoy was able to get the ball rolling. Close slash on airborne opponent, that hit confirming very nicely. 5D tap, overhead blocked by Decoy Snell once again. And get out of the corner. A little bit of a left right. Did you think that I would go back into the corner willingly? Well, I did. And you blocked. God damn it. Again, doing a relatively good job at punching the minion as they are going in. Wow, that was technically a tactical nuke that Decoy sent at Whammel. Put on the blue buff so that Whammel can't get rid of the minions, and then activated the time bomb. That's one of the coolest attempts at a checkmate that I've ever seen from a Jacko player before. Also, we call this position in the industry a checkmate. Unless you're willing to spend your resources, it's so hard to get out of there. And the damage is pretty high as well, with all that risk that was stacked on Whammel. Alright, get the parry. And get the minion throw uncontested, unfortunately, due to the frame advantage that Decoy Snail had there. Evens it out 3 apiece again.
Duel 1.
Timing is everything here. Right, early burst. Sending the minion from an angle that Whammel was not quite ready to contest that time. Let's see, cashing out on all that respect. Getting an unfortunate side sweep though. Using this 50 meter should be able to should allow Whammel to flip the positions though. Yeah, and get the hard knockdown as well. It's so comfy to sync meter into stuff like DPRC on Season 3 because it's very likely that you are still gonna get the wall break as a hard knockdown because of the existence of wild assaults, which didn't used to be the thing in the past. If you would use DPRC, it would be very likely that you just don't have an extra 50 to break the wall on hard knockdown, and that would make DPRCs just a tad weaker than they are now. Oh, good 2K. Caught Decoy Snail walking forward, minion in their hands of all things. But now the cash out is gonna hurt pretty hard. Whammel is gonna have... Wow! Help! That is gonna hit hard! Jesus Christ! Alright, so I guess Whammel's not gonna get any counterplay after that. But good news is Whammel does have full burst ready to go for this round. Alright, wall stick. Use the Wild Assault instead of the Tension Resource once again, which has been what Whammel has preferred in this set. Nice, got the bait as well. And that shot not gonna quite be the kill. YRC, yeah, she was waiting for that. It was probably one of the few things that, you know, Decoy could have done there, especially since they were really close to getting chipped out, and it was of the utmost importance to get the opponent off me immediately right now. That's kind of cool. So Decoy Snail, because Whammel has been poking minions with that 6P, this time Decoy Snail attacked with the minions and went under as the 6P was coming out. Alright, we got a sandwich. The sandwich falls off of Decoy's hand. They pick it up, and time to run it again. Staircase to jumpy, but the jumpy causes so little hit stun, or block stun rather, allowing Whammel to back throw and get into this situation. Finds the low. Now guess for your life. Nice backdash out of that 2K. YRC ends up working for Whammel this time. Gets a double jump, but not able to better their position, and counter hit by that Bridget, too heavy. It's gonna be lights out. Good night. A big opportunity for Whammel. This is actually a super important one. Whammel could go into a 2-game lead here for the first time, solidifying her position as the favorite to win the set. We go with the mix-ups overhead. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that. Not the most optimal, but we'll take that. And we'll take this as well. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Next round. It's gonna be full burst for each player on this ever so important game here. Is Decoy gonna go even once again, or is Whammel gonna, for the first time, run away with the lead? 2S ends up doing the job, backdash out of there, 6P. And those 6Ps have decent amount of recovery at that range to be whiff punished. Uh-oh, full risk. Warning, home in trouble. Look at this chip damage. Send help, please. Lord Daisuke, anybody counter hit. He's dead. Is she dead? She's dead. Mother of God. That's what a full risk bar does to a motherfucker. Alright, we are indeed gonna go into the 4 points each.
Mankind.
And both players will have to find the opening once again in terms of the score. Good attempt at a whiff punish there on that 2S. But I wonder, maybe Jacko just has too stubby of buttons on her S ones. Alright, time to mix. Into the corner you go. Whammel says no, not this time. Not ready to take this shit yet. She still ends up finding herself in this position. Good tech throw, which ends up destroying both the minions. 2P on the landing, no confirm. Another one. Checking if Whammel wants to come and shove herself into those buttons. Cross over into those buttons. Damn, girl! From what angle? Alright, early burst for Decoy Snail. Could potentially look at a situation where they get it back before the end of this game. Or in fact, that is fairly likely to happen as well in Season 3 of Guilty Gear Strive. RC, fast RC! That's so tricky. Not the most yield in terms of damage, but hey, if it keeps the ball rolling, you do what you gotta do. That was, oh my god. That's demonic. The most demonic dash, and Whammel knew that. She had a, you know, RC to back it up as well if the burst ends up whiffing. That's some Kai shit right there. But I like it. I like it. All right, into another strike throw. OTG. Decoy. Gold burst out of the corner. Players looking for the position, has to drift backwards in order to drop the minion there. I think the minion parry won't be able to parry supers, right? Which is why Decoy has been instead going for the drift RC. Alright. It'll be Whammel once again taking the lead. It's been neck to neck. It's definitely gotten tighter since the last time these guys met on Bounty Hunters. Nice immediate minion parry after taking it out. However, gold burst. Gold burst for, oh, okay, we get to, that burst actually makes sense for Whammel. I was about to say, with that gold burst positive bonus, if Decoy gets to touch Whammel, the resources are just gonna skyrocket. The same way that as if you just got a hard knockdown on wall break and was able to run a positive loop. So it makes a lot of sense to deny all that from your opponent. Oh, from what angle? Hello? YRC? Get my turn back. Still a couple of goobers ready to go. Deflect shield does push Decoy Snail away, but the problem is it only pushes the main body. It only pushes Jacko, and the goobers will maintain their position still. And if Jacko has minion gauge, she could command them to attack pretty much immediately. Alright, holding it. Does not have the 50 meter for DP, RCs or anything like that. A quick cash out, and this is gonna hurt once again. Bow! Oh, even better, keeps the corner. Oh, Deco was already clapping there. It was a little hard to discern what frame that was. In situations like that, especially when you are playing a DP character, such as, you know, Whammel is playing here as Bridget, if you detect frames that you kinda can't challenge in any way during your RC slowdowns, generally the DP ends up being the only thing that you can do there. But it really looked like a frame that could be challenged with a normal button for better rewards. I'm gonna be honest. Alright, sandwich. Again, Whammel does not believe in the in the power of that setup. Alright, YRC is the tool of the trade to get out. Flip it. And now, what's Whammel's turn gonna look like? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Went into the minion parry and immediately kicked the minion after that. The DP, first of the set, baited properly. That was like second or third DP ever that Whammel used. But arguably, when you run pressure as Jacko, you're probably gonna run it often in the most DP safe manner anyway, when you're playing against a DP character like Bridget. Alright, 5D tap is... No, we're not gonna burst just yet. But now as a result of that, Whammel is at very low health. Slow them down. Ooh, that's great response. Goes into the minion parry, parrying the too heavy from Whammel. And just like that, Decoy takes 2 quick games in their name. And just a couple of minutes ago, it was Whammel running the show, at least on a you know, 1 game lead. But it ends up being Decoy Snail again who arrives to the set point first. Is history gonna repeat itself here? Whammel is closer than she's ever been before in destroying Decoy Snail on, well, on Bounty Hunters at least. I'm not sure how often they meet in other events. Alright, keep the pressure going again. YRC is an option here, but is that a kill? I think that's a kill, right? That's gonna be a kill. Will it or will it not? Yes, it will. Yeah, it was way too much that time. And now, set points Decoy Snail once again. Decoy is really one of those players who, like, the further the set progresses, the harder their hands are gonna get. Ooh, great response again. Last time it was the parry against the 2-heavy, and this time Whammel went into the throw instead, which is a hard counter to that call out from Decoy if they want a minion parry in the air. Big throw. Whammel not quite ready to go down just yet. Can't get the kill here, but an overwhelming life advantage. Ooh, the 5-heavy ends up whip punishing whatever the button was from Whammel. I think it was 2K. Sorry, 2P rather. But says no. Still, set point Decoy. Yeah, set point. Nice conversion. Whammel bursts immediately as soon as she gets the resources. Nice 2S on the landing. Forces Decoy to go into an immediate burst as well. And now, Goobers are out. Whammel, of course, trying to be in a position. Tap 5D into an RC. Could go into a wall break. Nope, just drops the combo there. Backdash out of the low once again. Whammel finding a good setup. Close slash on airborne. And the conversion is good. Into the west corner. Backdash against that. What was that? Close slash me? I'm blinked and I missed it. Dashing past the minion parries. That's exactly what you're gonna do. Anti-air. No anti-air. Instead goes for a delayed delayed strike on the landing. Still anybody's game. Both players nearing that blue burst. Going over, sniping, minions are dead. One hit, one desire. Wild assaults are available. Immediate burst. Gets the value out of that. Now Decoy whips the sucker punch and gets thrown. Whammel is alive, survives to the 6 points situation each. We are going down to the wire. Whammel, definitely those two bitter defeats burning at the back of her mind, ready to avenge it. The desire to throw it on its head. The situation is anybody could take it. But who's gonna take it? Take the breather. Sip some water. Prepare for what is to come. Comfort. There is no stop, no breaks. As soon as the players press the play button. Alright, start with a throw. Set it up. Good defense as per usual. But eventually, Decoy will have to try to better their position. 6B. Even despite the slow RC that, or the time slowing RC that they used. Nice! They saw the throw whiff and went for the biggest reward. Close slash counter hit. And now, situation completely flipped on its tail. Whammel does only have 50 tension ready to defend with. But is she gonna use it here? DP, are we gonna RC? Yes, switch sides. And that should lead into a, if this wall breaks it kills, but it doesn't. It don't. RC, have to hold it, backdash into a 5-heavy check. Set point Whammel. Nice again, that angle, that cross-up hit from Jacko's normals. Slides into a back throw incident. Here we go for another one. Deflect shield is available. Soon. Oh, there we go. Gets decent value out of it. Once again, Out of the air minion summon, grabbed completely out. YRC, and the back YRC baited, and the burst as well! Whammel has basically bet everything on this round. It does not end up being the end of the world, even if Whammel takes an L here, but that means that she would go into the last round of the set, and she does, without her burst resources full. I mean, it's Season 3 once again, so you can get that burst resource back fairly quick, but it ends up being Decoy who gets into that faster. Use that on blue Wild Assault, push Whammel into the corner. Just 2k, wait for your turn in 2k. Hey, I got a pretty good 2k as well, the DLC kind. Decoy has so much meter. Uh-oh, popped into the sky. There is a super ender here. Oh, they miss it. They miss it. Whammel still in this potentially. 50 meter, how are we gonna defend? DPRC? Or? No, nothing! It's gonna get... Whammel's gonna get frame trapped by that blue Wild Assault. I bet there was some sort of input. There were some sort of inputs going behind the scenes, but whatever it was, Decoy Snail, the rhythm, completely throwing off Whammel and denying the comeback, denying the revenge, still maintaining 100% win rate against Whammel. It was so close though. It is the unfortunate truth of the matter. One player has to walk away loser, and one player will take it all. And it ends up being Decoy Snail here tonight. And that means we are moving into the last thriller of the evening. This will be the second time that we see that Asuka player, Blodboen, hailing from Germany, putting some really nasty ass Asuka play on screen last week against one of the finest in Finland, Zokhis Leo. Gonna be facing Maria Nagoriyuki from Norway this time around. Now, I guess if I had to put money on this, I would probably say I never want to bet against Maria though. It's not good for your heart. Let me tell you that much. Perhaps Maria could find some solace in the fact that, you know, as far as I've heard, Nago has some pretty good interactions against incoming cubes like far slash, slicing and dicing the cubes, especially on the current iteration of the game where, you know, the cubes are just a little slower than they were in the past. But you can bet your ass that Blodboen has the counter strategy, has played against some of the top Nagoriyukis in the region, and probably have formulated the counter strategies. And often enough, when somebody tries to slice through your cubes, the answer is simple: go 2D. You got an almost full screen projectile that hits low that can tag them out of their attempts to poke at those little babies. Alright, but ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, it's time, the last one of the night. Asuka, of all characters. Extremely enjoyable to watch, extremely difficult to commentate, but luckily this is the last matchup of the evening. This is gonna require quite a bit of presence of mind from me as well. And as soon as we go into it, I think he got it. He got the combination. This is the holy grail of Asuka gameplay. And he just keeps getting the good... Oh, here we go. We want to flip the position. Maria still at half health and is able to make the quotation... what's it called? what do the Yu-Gi-Oh players call it? The Exodia. Able to put a stop momentarily to the Exodia with that burst. However, I think Blodboen was able to draw into some of those other mana. Was able to basically draw into. Yo, look at that! The card control. He's on again. Oh, that's a lot of bad spells though. Never mind. Able to use that beam card into a cross-up with the use of that teleport. I thought that was a shitty hand, but Blodboen says no. That's actually a mix-up hand. And look how well the spells flow. Set up the Rainbow Cube into an empty low. Has only utility in their hand, but doesn't matter. When Maria is that low health, we can definitely go in for a immediate close slash and just play standard Guilty Gear Strive strike throw. Man, that is brutal. Uh-oh. That is very brutal. This character, if you let Asuka get started, it gets kind of nasty. Again, drawing into the mana cost down. Ooh, F-Shiki. Maria deems that this is the time to burst. Gets in. Forward Tukyo into. That was a good read. So the way that Blodboen used the super here is they sent cubes flying at Maria, expecting that Maria will try to slice at them. But if she does, then the super will basically punish her for it. Protecting your cubes, protecting your little babies, that's what it's all about. Oh, and the combo keeps going. Look at this guy, what the? Of course, round start Screamer. Basically denies all the space from Nagoriyuki. Is that gonna combo? No way, right? Oh! And it's still going! It's still going! Stop it! Please stop it! She's already dead! Ah! That's probably the sickest ass Asuka play I've seen for a while. You just can't let Blodboen get started. If he draws well, it's gonna end up just like that. Alright, nice shimmy there. Maria does go for the... Oh, nice bait. Yeah, these are the kind of reads that Maria is gonna need. Because now, very close to a mana break, we can happily burn a little bit of blood. Because that's gonna bring us ever so closer to, you know, breaking that mana shield. Is it gonna break? Not quite yet, but one touch from Maria. Stop! Hammer time! He's able to put a little bit of distance between Maria and himself. There we go. Good spacing, good timing, and we basically fixed our mana problems. Blodboen gets out of the sticky situation. However, we are really low on health. Any hit is gonna do it. Shop for more cards. But the thing was, it was kind of low on mana there, and shopping for new spells was gonna empty the whole mana bar, so he couldn't really cast any of that. Alright, mana cost down, has been applied. Cross up with the use of the teleport spell. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Yep, immediate burst. The mana shield did momentarily break there, but out of that burst went into the fast mana recharge immediately. I think Blodboen charged with the use of his health, because he's so low health here. So the cool choice here is that you can either use your tension to charge, you can use your health to charge, or you can use neither. And if you use your health, it's gonna charge your mana really fast. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, but sometimes you kind of have to. If you run out of mana as Asuka, it's over. It's just straight up over and you're done. So it's often enough, it's worth it to use all of your other resources to keep your mana as high as possible. Alright, stop card once again. Or stop sign, rather. Rainbow Cube ends up being the anti-air of choice, and the close slash starter here drops the combo. And a soft knockdown. Maria still has a chance here. Oh my goodness. He's so confident at going for those teleport mix-ups. And you can kind of afford it when you play with such a fast pace and you basically make the opponent have. You kind of create the sort of the image that there's very little that the opponent, like there are just so many that the opponent thinks that the opponent has to look for. You can kind of sneak in the more obvious things, such as the teleport mix-ups in there. Again, 2 teleports in their hand. Cross up. Nice. Only the rainbow cube is that, yeah, of course you press a button there. Because the rainbow cube has a little bit of startup and Maria can definitely far slash into it. Now, where's the teleport? Oh, doesn't get an angle, the anti-air! Close slash would have probably been good, but I'm not sure if Maria was late or if she picked a different button for the occasion. Cubes once again, beating Kamuriyuki. Setting up the shop. Looking good, we have a couple of buffs active. Throwing into 2 teleports, only teleports in their hand. Probably will spend Yo, what a goal! Shiki and the low wall slump! Oh, this time Maria is ready though. I mean, you kinda... That's gonna whip punish? Okay, Maria knows. Save herself. A lot of cubes coming. There's not a whole lot of stuff that Maria can do here unless she is willing to burst. Eventually close slash in the airborne opponent, far slash slash slash, and the opponent is very close to getting mana broken as well. I think that's will, yeah, even despite having one of the highest defensive modifiers with that mana shield, will finally be able to put them down. At least for the moment. 5k round start for Nagoriyuki, apparently loses to the cubes. Drops the overhead, big meteor, use burst resource to get the heart knocked down, and here we go into the jumps. That's kind of cool setup, even if Maria uses Deflect Shield, since Blodboen cancels into the cubes afterwards, it doesn't matter if you get pushed back or not, the cubes are still gonna reach Maria. Same situation here, yep, once again, safe jump into the cubes. That's all she wrote. Clean, surgical, flawless.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Alright, what next? Finally, Maria gets a very positive starter for the round, forcing Blodboen to burst very early. Generally, the Asuka players are forced to burst pretty much instantly after they get hit, because if you wait for even 2 or 3 hits, you're gonna take massive damage on your mana bar, and you just can't have that. That kind of puts you in the quotations predictable category for your bursts. Kind of like how Chip has been in the past, you just can't hold on to that burst. So if the opponent wants to go for a bait, they're like, yeah, alright, you're probably gonna hit that burst button after a couple of hits, so let me just bait that. Now, 2S. The level 1 Blood gets there in time before the blue cube. Looking so far so good for Maria. This should break the mana shield, I think, and... Listen to that. Oh. Look at that damage as well. Yeah, he's kind of dead. I think at this point Blodboen is smartly gonna save the burst for the next round. Right, the cube gets there just in time before Kamuriyuki. It's really the special moves that end up not doing too much for Nagoriyuki in this matchup. Back turn incident. This could be what starts it. Deflect shield into the Chaos Cube. That has been the go-to defensive mechanism of Blodboen, even last week. Teleport is potentially ready to go. Oh, into meaty command grab. But the back turn from Blodboen. Still only utility in their hand. And this time didn't even get the Chaos Cube off. Is that gonna punish? Yes, indeed. Not quite enough damage. Blodboen will have to play with basically empty hand here. That card does not do anything, and Maria commits. However, She basically said, I think I'm gonna get a hit here somewhere, but Blodboen, extremely patient, just waits for the pop.
Duel 1.
There were a lot of complex decision making going into that. Blodboen was holding only one useless card. Maria could have potentially still run the pressure, but the temptation is too much. Alright, another Chaos Cube here, allowing Blodboen to recharge resources. Kinda low on mana though, with 6p. Uses health to recharge, full mana once again. Got the buff as well. And now we have an overhead. Maria was not ready for that. Gotta always keep your eyes on the opponent's hand when it comes to fighting Asuka. When you see there's a DP, you have to adjust. When you see there's an overhead, you have to adjust. A lot of the more rare cards, you can kind of have a decent counterplay against, as long as you're thinking about it, as long as you know what the spell does and you're ready to respond to it. One more cube, as well as a teleport. Let's see, we're probably going into the safe jump again. No, we play a meaty teleport into... I think you get a meaty there. Able to get the cards. And run into the tap 5D. God, this guy is something else. Alright, well...
Duel 1.
If you ever wanted to see what it looks like when a Grandmaster Asuka plays this game, other than the Gobo VODs that you can watch in YouTube from the replay vultures, this would be another great example of how it all boils down. Alright, Maria once again ready to react to the teleport. There's also another teleport in Blodboen's hand at the moment, so if Maria able to make the gold burst whiff. Yeah, there is no escape. There is no time to cast that. Maria has entered the mauling mode. This will not break the mana shield, but will put Blodboen in a very uncomfortable situation. Now, the best bet here for Blodboen would be to survive as long as possible so that they get to build as much burst as possible for the next round.
Duel 2.
Here we go, White Wild Assault. Blazing through all and every normal that the opponent could use. Got the jump out, the close slash, pulling Blodboen back onto the ground. Danger, danger! Ow! The blood is so high that it actually reaches from that deflect shield situation. It's a lot of things that you gotta keep track of. Once again, the risk is blinking. What's your move, Blodboen? Maria has spent quite a lot of blood here. Oh! Is that gonna pop her? No? No, sir. Perfect! Perfect utilization of the blood mechanic. Riding the line, but never going past it. Well, that's considering the kind of spectacle rounds we've seen from Blodboen so far, I think it's, it's comforting to be able to say that Maria is definitely not free here. Right, drew into some very needed utility. Shops for a full hand. That's a lot of utility in the hand. Only one attack spell still, and it's of the slow kind. So Blodboen will have to try to get out. Very nice trade for Maria. Still, no spells to be casted. Blodboen will just have to rely on the fundamentals and the normals. That's sometimes how it be. Blodboen has been drawing extremely well some rounds, so it's only reasonable to say that some of these hands won't be as good. Really nice reaction on the overhead spell as well by Maria there. Yep, use the Chaos Cube. We'll be able to cast the utility spells. Mana recharge is on. Strategic throw. A little low on the offensive spells. So we use it to mulligan again. Or rather, using the 50 meter to mulligan. Again, 2 teleports, but we saw Blodboen use this teleport earlier to go for a setup. This time doesn't go for it. Maybe that setup is not actually safe to do, and it's one of those things that where you kind of have to surprise your opponent. Not an Asuka specialist, so who knows? Alright, activating the buffs. That was actually pretty great. Oh, but the gate is open and the cubes are coming out. Deflect shield, but we need to get back in there. Blodboen has a lot of buffs available. Bar slash sequence doesn't let deflect shield push you away. We get to cast the gate, yes indeed. Teleport out, open it. And during while that gate is spitting those cubes, you have so much time to recharge all kinds of resources. I think this is it. Did Maria hit it? Yeah. The chip damage goes through. Might have even been on a normal, not even a block at all. But goddamn, look at this. Look at this motherfucking guy. Look at this guy. Look at this dude. That's some nasty ass Asuka plays, if I've ever seen any. That's the Asuka play that I want to see. Not the Asuka play I want to play against, but that's the Asuka play I want to see in my events. So fucking nasty. I love it. Even after all the cube speed nerfs, this character definitely still cooks. And these top level Asuka players, they're showing how to cook the 5-star meal as well. All right. Well, that is it for tonight. Another fairly even-ish distribution of sets. Went down to the wire a couple of times, had some fancy plays. Let's what's the order here? I guess we should first talk about if you want to play in these events. You can, for example, join my Discord. We have the sign-up forms as well as all the info posted over there. And we do this every Sunday, 5 p.m. CET. So if that interests you, do join. We'll set you up with somebody who's very close to your skill level, as well as somebody who has a good connection to you in the most optimal scenario. That said, any strivers on Guilty Gear, on twitch.tv/something. So Guilty Gear, not Exert, Strive. Keeping an eye especially on the players who do play in our events and or just other events in general. I don't think there's much going on at the moment, to be perfectly honest. You know, how about we just pick a random person to raid instead? Spread the love. For example, this guy. Right. But was a fun evening, was a fun week once again. We'll see you again same time next Sunday, 5 p.m. CET. Till then, stay safe. Thank you for watching, thank you for playing, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.